to the joint. There we go. We live in this joint. You know what I'm saying? I read a comment under the last video that I uploaded. Dude told me that Terence Crawford has to prove himself to get a PBC fight. If that ain't the dumbest shit I ever heard. Brody, what did Mikey Garcia prove at 147 to get us a title shot? Y'all be okay with a lot of dumb. I say it all the time. Suckers gonna gravitate to sucker behavior. Matter of fact, before I even get into it, let me let this joint populate. All right, what's good, Anthony Lucas? What's good, HBU? You know what I'm saying? It's an open live. Let me post the link. Whoever want to join, y'all could go ahead and join. Copy that to the clipboard. Let's get a panel going. Ahmed, what's good? Let's get a panel going in this nasty joint. What's good, Hakeem? What's good, Compost? What's good, Brown going one? It's rocking with y'all. Get a panel going in this nasty joint. But yo, yeah, I uploaded a video, right? The last video I uploaded. Dude had the nerve to say that Terence Crawford has to prove himself to get a fight with a PBC fighter. If that ain't the dumbest shit I ever heard, like, bro, what did Mikey Garcia prove to get a title shot? Not a goddamn fucking thing. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know who raises these grown ass men to act like that, but it's the goofiest shit I've ever seen, man. You either want to see them fights or you don't want to see them fights, and all that scary shit tell me is you don't want to see Crawford fight no PBC fighter because you scared of what's gonna happen. You afraid of what will happen if they let one of them guys fight him. You scared, yo. That's why y'all don't want to see it, man. I don't know, Mr. Black Stallion. I really don't know. It's the most ridiculous behavior I've ever seen, and I've been watching boxing for a very long time, but I have never seen such a concentrated effort dedicated to advocate against fights that, oh, well, he not a PBC fighter, so nobody should fight him. These dudes is on drugs, man. Hey, what's goody the truth? Sufami Dan, what's good? It's just a lot of ridiculous stuff, man. That's the only way I could characterize it. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I would say no, Ortiz is not a boogeyman. Ortiz did have a moment. He had 15 seconds of fame where he was like a boogeyman. To say that he never was, I was good, Andy.
Yo, what's up?
I would say Ortiz had a moment where he seemed like he was a boogeyman. He did. But the reality is that was years ago, bro. All right? This dude resume don't got nothing on it. Who is ducking Luis Ortiz, bro? Who?
Yeah, I know. AJ was 5-7 mil. You turned it down.
That's what I'm saying. If they offer you 7 mil after you done said I will fight you for any amount of money, and they offer you $7 million fucking dollars, bro, you stop being a boogeyman when you ain't take that money. Cause you ain't fought nobody. Povetkin got a better resume than Ortiz by far. Fucking Pulev arguably has a better resume.
Yeah, Ortiz's best win was Brian Jennings, I believe.
Yeah, and that was after Klitschko beat him.
And Jennings was never anything special. Didn't do much after that.
I'm not going to tell nobody that Ortiz is a bad fighter. I don't think that Ortiz is a bad fighter. I'm saying that he ain't what they make him out to be. It's always the same thing, that Ortiz is not what they making him out to be, because if he was, he would have fucking knocked out Christian Hammer. So don't tell me this and that. Christian Hammer had him looking crazy. You're not supposed to
look his age.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to go in there with a Christian Hammer, a guy that they would characterize, I don't even use words like this, a guy that they would call a quote-unquote Euro bum. Your boy needed judges to tell him he won that fight. He needed judges. He ain't put him away. So Ortiz is not a boogeyman, dog. He not a boogeyman.
And then he fucks around and loses to Fury.
Word, right? It's a lot of dumb
like
shit.
100 pounds or some shit.
It's a lot of dumb shit, man. Like I don't understand it. Like, you either, as a boxing fan, you either want to see these motherfuckers fight or you don't. And I be noticing that like, yo, it's mad fights that they don't want to see. They don't want. It's a lot of shit they don't want to see. Like, fuck it. Thurman versus Garcia 2. Fuck it. Because y'all don't want to see him fight Crawford. Thurman versus Porter 2. Because y'all don't want to see him fight Crawford. Fuck it. Shit.
I think what was really telling was that DiBella thing, where he was talking about why he was let go.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like certain shit is like, it was always obvious. Like, motherfuckers been watching PBC cards the whole time, and they ain't noticed. Like, I noticed that shit off top, that DiBella don't be at nothing no more, and a lot of his fighters, male and female, is fighting on DAZN. So that lets you know right away what's going on. They're like, oh, all right, I see how it's rocking. I see what's happening here.
And someone said that Terence Crawford needs to earn the right to fight somebody or something.
Yeah, dude left that comment under the last video I uploaded. He told me he need to fight real competition. Like, yo, man, somebody throw a brick at that dude. Like, what is the matter with you, dog? You even want to see these guys fight or you don't? And all that dude telling me is that you don't want them to fight. And I know why. Because Crawford will beat 95, if not 99% of PBC welterweights. I don't have a doubt in my mind. And it's not just because of this and that. It's because of how they treating that shit. They treating that shit like
there's footage of these guys saying they don't want to fight him.
They treating that shit like a motherfucker asking for a ride to the airport. Like, bro, it's just Crawford. Just go fight him. If it's easy work, go fight him. They gonna put you on pay-per-view. Go fight him.
Yeah, Crawford will probably have a better chance getting a fight at 154 at this point.
Shit, I mean, 154 really ain't no better because PBC got 3 of the belts up there, so it'll be practically the same situation. He would go up there and likely fight Teixeira, you know, because that's the only motherfucker up there that probably would want to fight him. Do I feel bad for Paulie? No, I don't feel. I mean, it's not feeling bad for Paulie. Paulie get a lot of shit, but he an honest dude, and I respect that he say what he feel. He not going to sugarcoat it. If he felt Fury won the fight, oh motherfucking well, who don't like you? I think Fury won. I respect that shit.
Yo, Julius, how's it going, bro?
Ain't shit, man. I'm out here.
Yes, Andy, how's it going? What are you guys talking about? What happened to Paulie? I seen you upload a video.
Oh, nah, because you know they not letting Paulie go to the press conferences for Wilder versus Fury, and according to Paulie, it's because he said that he felt Fury won the fight. If that ain't some old estrogen ass shit right there, that's some estrogen shit. That's some mitral menstrual cramp
I thought you said they won't let him come to the fight because that fight's on Fox and Paulie don't commentate for Fox.
Well, I mean, I know that, but Paulie said that he can't. He not even at the press conferences. Like, he's not going to the the
they banned him.
Yeah, he said they banned him because he said Fury won the fight. I'm like, yo, that's some girl shit. Like, you can't come to my birthday party shit.
Yo, Walter's crazy, man.
Yeah, I think at that point you might as well ban like 90% of the fans.
Word, right?
Everyone thought he lost that fight.
Word, like that's what I was thinking. Like, yo, you might as well ban the motherfuckers that's buying tickets too, because they think Fury won. Shit.
Wilder said that about Steve Fahad and about Paulie, man. Wilder.
All right, hold on, someone's knocking on my door. Hold up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wilder. He thinks that fight, wasn't close, man. A lot of people don't think it was close, but that's for Fury. Like, I think Steve Howard gave Wilder 2 rounds. I didn't think it was that wide live, but
Brody, I gave Wilder 2 rounds myself. I gave him 2 rounds myself and 1 political round because he's the champion. So that brings it to 7-5. That would bring it to
8-4. I had 8-4. I thought 8-4 was fair. I gave him two of the knockdown rounds. And I thought he won 2 of the rounds. On rewatch, I think I had it 9-3. I can see how people had the 10-2, but I personally thought that's a bit wide, like, because you're giving all the close rounds to Fury. I could see the argument, but I can't see Wilder winning more than 4 rounds in that fight. I think 3 or 4 rounds is about right.
Man,
if you're giving him 5, you're giving him every benefit of the doubt. Like, How do you see the rematch playing?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like buying that rematch because this has an air of spontaneity that we don't. Fury is not a dude that you could underestimate because look, he said he was gonna fight Wilder and we didn't believe him, but lo and behold, he fought his ass, and to me, he exposed his ass. We didn't, but when he first said that shit that he was gonna fight Wilder on a rebound, I didn't believe.
Yeah, you
Yo, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out. It's like, yo, he fuck around, you never know. But at the same time, if he goes in there looking for the knockout, and I said this already, if you go in there looking for the knockout, you got to commit to your punches and sit on them to get a knockout. If you do that with Wilder, you're making yourself easier to hit, so you might get your ass knocked out trying to knock him out.
It depends how he does it, though. Before the first fight, I thought Fury might knock him out, but he clearly needed at least one more fight. I did pick him to win that first fight. That was based on just seeing him. I thought at 60-70% after the Pinata fight, he's good enough to expose Wilder because Wilder just looked so bad against Ortiz and some of the other fights. Gerald Washington, that was the fight. When I rewatched that, I was thinking Fury could be out of shape and he should beat this guy. Yeah, unless he gets clipped, which he did in the 12 and almost got knocked up. But I think this, if he in the rematch, if he just boxes him and backs him up, it doesn't run too much or use his legs too much, I think he possibly could get him out because he hurt him in the 12th round. The only thing is, if you stay in, I don't know what's the best thing to do, to stay in the inside or mid-range.
No, he's got to stay on the inside. I mean, if he really wants to have a chance to disarm Wilder's power, he's got to stay close to him, mid-range to inside. On the outside, Wilder get full extension on the punch, and it's a lot of power on it. So you want to do, I mean, that's why Wilder's susceptible to left hooks, because mid-range to inside, he can't really shorten up the punches, and his defense is already leaky. Fury can shorten up the punches. He could throw little short hooks and little short shots if he's standing close to him. I think that's...
Yeah, but the thing is...
Go ahead.
Wilder lands rabbit punches on the inside. I thought, that first knockdown, that was an accumulation of a rabbit punch, and I think he landed a good left hook. I think it was a left hook or right hand, I can't remember. But one of them hit him at the back of the head. I think that was a knockdown you could give, I think you could give it. Although it's because you got to think how Jack Reese was watching a ref in that fight in live play. After watching the replay a couple of times, you could see it might have been a rabbit punch. But I personally think mid-range might be his best place. He needs to try and stay away from the right hand or try and make sure he's out of danger.
That much is obvious, but it's more along the lines of a lot of guys go in there with Wilder. They have their way with him. They have some success. They get overconfident. They start opening up a bit too much. They get caught. Fury got to wrap his ass up early. Before he starts getting tired, before his hands start dropping, he got to wrap his ass up early. Let him know, yo, you in here with a puncher now. I'm not going to box around you. I'm not going to be on the balls of my feet. I heard Fury weighing 270 pounds right now.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He shouldn't be more than 250. I was just going to say one thing. I let the other guys, Red Glove and Andy, get. I was going to say one thing. If, like you were saying before the first Ruiz Joshua fight, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And I agreed with you. Like Ruiz was saying, he's going to come lighter, but he came in heavier. I personally don't think Fury needs to do much different in this fight. The only thing I would say is he doesn't need to back up as much, because in the first fight, I think he spent a bit too much time on the ropes and backing up, and that let Wilder come forward a bit more, and that made some of those rounds close. Whereas Fury, where he stood in the center of the ring, I think Fury took all those rounds and made Wilder look bad. I personally think he should just box how he did from round, I think it was about 3 or 4.
Nah, because you got to remember, Ahmed, you got to remember, I said if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because what Ruiz took it out of the hands of the judges, and that's more or less what you want. But Fury now knows he cannot win a decision. How many rounds did he pile up outboxing this dude that is not doing nothing but floating his left hand, looking to land the right? That's all he did for most of that fight. And yet somehow they called.
But he didn't get dropped, though, didn't he? Like, he just needs to make sure he doesn't get dropped more than maybe once. If he gets dropped again once, and wins majority of the rounds, I don't think they could rob him. Because two of those judges scored the fight. I thought you could argue those scorecards. One had the 8-4, I believe, and one had the 7-5 to Fury, and that makes it a draw. Where the other one obviously was biased. Now, I personally think Fury is a bit over exaggerated. Now, it wasn't like a clean sweep. He did get dropped twice heavy.
But it wasn't,
and for
bro. It wasn't a hard fight to score. I mean, I'm not gonna say that.
no, I'm not.
You know what I mean? Like,
that,
I'm not gonna say
see
it was a clean sweep, but it really wasn't a hard fight to score. You could see who's controlling the action, who's dictating the pace of the fight, where the fight is happening. All of that shit was Fury. All Wilder was doing was just pawing with the left hand, trying to line him up.
Yeah, he was missing a lot.
And missing a lot of
if you can make an argument Wilder won 3 or 4 rounds, which I thought, then I mean one more round, you could see how one of the judges might have a 7-5. I'm just saying, if he doesn't get dropped in the rematch and it's a similar fight, he'll get the decision. They can't rob him that bad because Wilder, you look at the scoring criteria, he wasn't the guy with the better defense. He wasn't the guy landing clean punches. The only thing was he was the aggressor, but he wasn't effective. So in the rematch, Fury just needs to make sure he stays on his feet, although that is a big ask. So maybe Fury thinks he probably has to knock him out. I basically think it's dangerous looking for a KO. He should let the KO come because we seen what happened in that Ortiz rematch. Like Wilder could be 6-7-0 down. Like and Fury might do that. Fury might win 9-10 rounds, and if he gets clipped, he could get knocked out. Like personally, I don't think you should go looking for a knockout. I agree with you on that.
I'll say that Fury needs to switch off from Southpaw to orthodox. That way he doesn't line himself up for the right hand, because as we all know, the right hand is the Southpaw killer. So Fury needs to fight out of the orthodox stance. And I agree. I agree that he needs to let the KO come, because Wilder got enough holes in his defense that it'll come. It'll come. But in the in between time, just pile up the rounds, pile up the points, mid-range to inside. It's obvious you got to stay away from his right hand. Most everybody walk into the Wilder fight with that same idea. I got to stay away from the right hand. All right, but you got to do something in the in between time. You know what I'm saying? You got to pile up them points, man. Stay close to this guy. Don't let him get full extension on his punches, and stay busy. Throw pity pats and mix in the power shots. Fury could do that. Fury could box. Touch him with the left hand. Just touch him with the left hand and then hit him downstairs. I never see nobody go to Wilder's body and he's skinny as shit.
Yeah, but I agree with that.
Sorry.
I was just going to say one thing. I can't see Wilder winning the decision, man. They'd have to do a daylight robbery. Yeah, but go for it. What are you going to say?
I do have a few concerns with Fury going into this fight. One is him getting rid of Ben Davison. I don't think that was the right move for his style. I think Fury fights best when he's mobile. I don't see him as like a come forward aggressor. The other is Ring IQ mentioned his weight. He's 270 now. I mean,
is that official or is that rumor? Because I haven't heard about that.
I seen a picture of him and I read something earlier today, and he does look heavy, dog. Like if that picture's a current picture, he do look heavy. I don't really know why he would. Like, you didn't need to add weight, feel me? Like you weigh more than Wilder already. Like you don't need more weight, but I don't know, man.
That mentally, then I got a question. I said that mentally, that's the question. He might be back sniffing. If he's back on the white thing, then God knows. Only God could save him from Wilder, man. Because he's shown that in the past. After the Klitschko fight, he said he was coked out when I remember him and Wilder had that face-off. I don't know. If it's a tactic, then maybe he should come a bit heavier. But if he's walking around 270, then I think that's way too heavy for him.
And then he has that guy Sugar Hill Stewart is his trainer.
Oh yeah.
I never heard of the guy.
Me neither, though.
He was Emmanuel Stewart's protege or something.
Well, that's the thing. That look, if you talking about Emmanuel Stewart's unofficial heir to the throne, that's really Jonathan Banks. That's who that was. He picked up the reins.
He was Adonis Stevenson's trainer. I'm pretty sure he was Adonis Stevenson's trainer.
You talking about Sugar Hill?
Yeah, he was
Motherfucker
the
must have
guy
fell
when
off
he
the
knocked.
face of the earth because he hasn't been training no fighters that I've been following. So I was like, all right, well, he's Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, so that's cool. But I don't know what this is gonna be. Like, I don't know what Fury I'm gonna get.
He was in his corner when he knocked out Chad Dawson, I believe, when he beat Trevor's Cloud, and then I don't know, he disappeared. But then Adonis was fighting guys like he shouldn't have been in the ring with. So I think maybe he might have left, but I'm pretty sure he was his trainer from about 2013 to 2015. I think about the first Fanfare fight. I might be wrong. He might have been there for longer, but that was the only guy I remember in the corner of. I can't remember any other fighters he's been in the corner of. I personally don't think Fury needs a great trainer because if you remember the guy he fought when he fought Kevin Johnson, the guy in his corner was Clifton Mitchell, who works part-time security. Fury, Fury doesn't need. I don't think Fury needs a trainer. And Wilder can't box, and he don't listen to his trainer anyway.
Yeah,
I
he
think
really
Wilder's.
don't.
He don't need to listen to what's his trainer's name. I forgot the
Listen,
Olympic.
bro, I was watching Malik Scott and Malik Scott was doing the pads with Mark Breland, and Mark Breland's old ass got a better left hook than Wilder. Mark Breland is like 1,000 fucking years old, dog.
Yo, do you see that video of Eddie Hearn throwing those uppercuts?
Yo, Eddie could box, man. He beat the shit out of some little dude in them offices, man. Eddie got an Emmy record.
Yeah, Eddie did amateur boxing. I think he said that. Eddie. Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Yeah,
He had
man.
3 fights or something.
Eddie Hearn is the pound for pound king, B. That motherfucker, all right? Motherfucker's gonna leave my man Eddie Hearn alone, B. That dude is doing good things for boxing.
Yeah,
Good
well,
thing
Wilder,
for
I just see him as just everything wrong with the heavyweight division right now. He's like
Yeah, I mean, in all
bronze
honesty, yeah,
medalist, but
because he just won a lot of motherfuckers. Like the most recent shit is, he's still trying to gas up Ortiz. Brody, you was the same one that was shitting on that man before you fought him, talking about how he took pads. Now, cause y'all fought, now he supposed to be this and that. Like he still ain't fought nobody, bro. Like I'm sorry, but he ain't fought nobody.
Jack Johnson's sparring partner. He's still bragging about it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the first, and I'm pretty sure not the last time he sticks his foot in his mouth. Saying, because he was
honestly,
the one that
he's from Cuba, so you don't know how old this guy is.
Yeah, I mean,
we got a question for the panel. All right, Joshua Littlejohn is asking, how do you feel about Charles Martin fighting Gerald Washington? I'll answer first as concisely as possible. Nobody want to see that fight, including Gerald Washington. How y'all feel about that fight?
I agree. Not on pay-per-view. Like that sounds like a stay busy fight to me. That sounds like a filler fight for something that you would put on Fox or Showtime, not on a undercard of a pay-per-view. That
shit is a FS1 fight, man. That's a Spike TV fight. That's shit.
What fight you guys talking about?
Charles Martin was relevant for like a second until AJ took the belt off him.
The funny shit about Charles Martin is he can punch, man. That dude got he got some knockouts, man. Charles Martin. He do got some. I ain't saying he this and that. I'm just saying that the dude could punch. So I'd be surprised if he don't knock out Gerald Washington.
But he can't punch. He can't punch. The thing with
about it, from what I've seen.
Washington was outboxing Wilder, man. That was bad. Like I know Wilder can't box, but when you watch him against Thurman in that first fight, you think this guy's got some sort of maybe, skill at that level. Whereas Washington was a guy who's a former, NFL player, and that was bad, man. That was for 4 rounds. Wilder looked horrible.
But at the same time, it ain't because Washington was nice. I said this shit already years ago. It's Wilder got outboxed by Washington, not because Washington is nice, because Wilder is that bad. That Washington will go in there and look all right for a couple of rounds with you because that's how bad you are. Washington turned around and lost to motherfucking Jarrell Miller. Where was them fancy feet with Jarrell Miller? There wasn't nowhere to be found. But with Wilder, this motherfucker looking like Willie Pep. It's because Wilder ain't shit.
Yeah, you're right about Wilder. I mean, look at the Stoka fight.
Word.
Like Spoke looked like
Dude, damn near knocked
next
himself
to
out.
Wilder. Next to Wilder, he looked like a heavyweight Manny Pacquiao. And then he goes and he gets stretched by, he's getting stretched left and right after
He
that.
got stretched by
So,
Kalnaki. He got stretched by Chisora. Like, bruh. But with Wilder,
was
he
damn near
making him
done.
trip over his own feet. He missing bolo punches. I'm like, yo, dog. A lot of guys go in there with Wilder, and they really be looking at 8. But it's cause he's that bad. All right,
and
now
then people,
we got
and then-
another question. Dubois versus Joyce. Who you got? All right, I'm gonna answer first. I got Daniel Dubois. I think he gonna beat Joe Joyce to the punch.
Joe Joyce fights like molasses.
Yeah,
He looks like Brazilian.
Danny
Man.
Dubois. Yeah,
that's a
Joyce
good
is
fight.
slow.
I got Dubois as well.
I watched that one fight.
Slow.
Joe Joyce versus Usyk in the amateurs. He was looking so slow.
Yo, Usyk was fucking him up, dog. He was fucking him up. I seen that shit. And not for nothing. I ain't trying to shit on Joe Joyce because I still like that he's willing to have that fight. And I still like that he was willing to fight Brian Jennings, even though Joe Joyce don't got a lot of fights. So I got mad respect for Joe. But that Dubois fight, Dubois too fast, man. His 1-2 looked like a fucking middleweight 1-2. Like, his shit is quick. And Joe slow as shit. So he probably gonna get beat to the punch. That's one of them fights where it come down to who lands first. And I think Daniel Dubois gonna land first. All right, what's good, Gary? Fury was a cherry pick. Yeah, I agree. Fury was a cherry pick because Wilder knew he was on the rebound. So that was a cherry pick going wrong.
Yeah, I keep seeing this rhetoric. People saying, "Oh, Fury fought a better fighter than AJ because he fought Fury."
I mean, I dig it, but they didn't think that shit before the fight. They only saying that shit after the fact. Like, I hate that shit too. Like, look, if you didn't respect the opponent before the fight, stop acting fake respectful after the fight. I said ahead of the fucking Joshua versus Ruiz fight that Ruiz is not no joke, dog. Like, Fat Boy is lethal when he close to you. Motherfuckers want to act brand new. Like, oh, man, like, man, see, I don't listen to shit. Let me let Abs in here. Abs, what's good?
Hi guys, how you doing?
I don't get it. What Fury?
Yo,
Fury for who?
Ring.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Yes, bro. The job you're doing on YouTube, unbelievable. I'm here. I'm calling from Manchester, UK. Your content, fantastic. But you made a point earlier on in regards to in Wilder being susceptible to the left hook, and that's a big. Sorry about that. That's one of the big reasons why they're ducking Dillian White and an AJ.
I agree because Dillian White has a good left hook. That's the one he slept.
Absolutely, and then I think that's one of the main reasons. Probably many other reasons on top, but that's the main reason. As much as I think Wilder would probably get Dillian White out of there early, there's a possibility that Dillian could hit him with that left hook, and if he hits him with that left hook, could be lights out.
And
his left hook is that good?
And it's not just the left hook; it's the body work too. That Dillian White goes to
body
the
snatcher.
body. So I put 2 and 2 together because I remember reading an article about when Klitschko dropped Wilder that they say he dropped him with a left hook, and I'm thinking like, yo, no wonder Dillian White want him so bad because Dillian got to kill a left hook, and if he land the way Eric Molina landed, it could be a wrap because I don't really trust Wilder's chin to begin with. When he get hit, get hit clean, he always get frazzled.
He freezes up. I've noticed that. He throws up against even with Ortiz. And I know he was grabbing him and moving forward a little. But you could see him if he was in there with a younger, more active fighter who has the power Dillian White has in his left hook. It could have been lights out. That's one of many PBC guys. You know, we don't need to say too much more about why they duck, but that's probably one of the main reasons why they're avoiding Dillian White.
Yeah, I mean, look, they offered Wilder a considerable amount of money, more than once, to fight Dillian White. And at the end of the day, if you really felt or your team felt that that's easy work, then why wouldn't you get a couple $1 million for what y'all think is easy work? If it's easy, you're going to do it. But since it's not easy, they don't want to do it. That's all it is.
Did they offer him 7 million or he wanted 7 million? I remember about the negotiation.
Well, in the beginning, I remember it being something like $5 million. The first offer was like a $5 million option. That was when they offered him 15 for the Joshua fight and 5 for a Dillian White fight. And the shit was he didn't have to fight Dillian White. They just said that's an option. If you want to fight White, we'll give you $5 million for that fight, but we'll give you $5 million for a fight of your choosing. He still ain't want to do it. They made him another offer, I think, for Dillian. And he didn't want to take that shit even. I'm like, bro, at this time, this dude highest purse was $2 million, bro. $2 million. But you can't fight Dillian White for 5? Bro. It's common sense shit, man.
Why did he want Joshua on the contract? I didn't get that. He said, I'll only fight him if you guarantee me.
Bro, that's just some bullshit. That's like, at this point, anything that Wilder said in the past was likely a monkey wrench to get out of negotiating. Like, oh, you want Dillian White to guarantee you a Joshua fight? Bro, he can't do that. He want to fight you. Dillian White is not Anthony Joshua's promoter, so stop asking him about Anthony Joshua. Them motherfuckers ain't even friends. So how is he going to guarantee you an Anthony Joshua fight? You can make $5 million. I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why you would, but I think there's something in White that they don't like.
I agree. Did you some of the Lou DiBella comments on I can't, was it Boxing Social or was it in IFL, one of the two, where he mentioned in offers that came through in social media being obviously pure publicity stunts. Do you think that was a dig at Deontay Wilder?
I think so, because Lou DiBella's, I mean, like, I'm gonna say this. Lou DiBella is, I know a lot of people don't necessarily like him, but I got a lot of respect for him because of what he do for the girls. He don't got to take on as many female fighters as he does, but he gives them an opportunity. So I respect that about him. But as far as Lou as an individual, he does strike me as a bitter person. And a lot of shit that he say is bitter shit. Like, he ain't want to say everything, because I saw the IFL interview and I saw the Boxing Social interview. And it sounded like he want to say more, but he don't want to say nothing bad about Deontay. But he probably got a couple of things he want to say about Stephan Espinoza, Shelly Finkel, and Al Heyman. It sounded like he wanted to say more than what he said. He know the scoop. He know they bullshit. He know they was bullshitting.
So do you think he's telling the truth? Some people are saying the guy, I don't know, they're saying he's just bitter about Wilder or whatever.
I don't know, but
I mean, Lou DiBella at this point is trying to find a home. He trying to get a deal. Like, you could tell Lou DiBella want to get something going on with his own. You could tell. Like, he want a Eddie Hearn type deal or something like that. He do. Like, you could tell. Like, he just want to get in bed with somebody. Like,
no,
I ain't mad at him.
Absolutely.
That's his job. I ain't mad at him, but you could tell that man bitter as shit. Like, so y'all hired an English guy to break into the American market, and I've been here this whole time, and y'all ain't called me. He mad, like. But at the same time, when DAZN was debuting in America, what I think Lou need to realize is, well, bro, when DAZN was trying to tap into the American market, you was still in bed with the PBC. So why the fuck would they come to you? You still in bed with them guys. They looked at you as a PBC guy, so they wasn't gonna come to you with all that money. They came to Fast Eddie because Fast Eddie get it done. It's my guy, Fast Eddie.
He's my guy too. But guys, I've got to leave you. Thanks for letting me into the chat.
All right, no problem.
Catch up next time. Thank you, bro.
See you.
Team Wilder Fury was shot. Yes, they did. They thought he was shot, and they got a rude awakening.
Yeah, I was gonna say
down 100 mil.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you think Wilder would have approached if he had all of AJ's belts? Like if he was the guy who had the belts, 4 belts, do you think he'd be making mandatory steps and fighting like guys like, I don't know, Ruiz, Povetkin, whatever? Or do you think he'd be one of those guys who'd probably start vacating belts?
Who you talking about, Wilder?
Wilder. Yeah, I was just saying. Imagine he was the guy who had all the belts. Obviously,
Yo, you know what? I'm not good. I don't even want to waste time on that guy. Let's talk about another. Because like Wilder's a boring motherfucker, dog. Like he boring. Like that dude
nah, the
bores
only
me.
reason
Like,
because he's
All right,
fighting soon.
I got a question.
That's the.
How do you guys feel about that $7 million offer to Jamal Charlo? Apparently, Eddie made.
Jamal don't want that fight, man. Jamal don't want that fight, and not for nothing. Jamal is a PBC slave. Like he say he his own promoter, but why you fighting fucking Dennis Hogan? Why you fighting Brandon Adams? Why you fighting these guys, bro? They don't want to let you go nowhere. They offered this dude cash money to cross the street. Nah, you want to fight Dennis Hogan? What? What?
And
Yeah, I think
people are
Eubank
saying he
might
wants to
beat
fight
him.
Eubank next.
Yo, I hope
think Eubank might beat him.
I hope, yo, that would be so fucking amazing, dog. I swear to God, I'll wrap myself in saran wrap if Eubank beats this dude. Like, yo, because it's stupid. Like to me, yo, look, Jamal. I actually used to like Jamal and Jamel, but it became obvious that like, yo, y'all keep calling out Canelo, but y'all don't really want to fight him, and y'all keep calling out Golovkin, but do you really want to fight him? Because if you try to fight him, yo, you gotta cross the street. You never been on pay-per-view. You never been in a big fight. You never, like, really, neither one of them never really been in a big fight. So you got to take what they offering for the opportunity to shock the world. If you do anything other than that, bruh, it's because you ain't really want that fight and you just clout chasing. Golovkin been on pay-per-view. Canelo been on pay-per-view. What the fuck is the best thing you did? Knock out Julian Williams. Well, you and Jason Rosario need to have lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I don't know what he's gonna do though. People try shitting on Crawford, but Crawford got options if some of the guys come up from the low weight class. Charlo, I think the only guy he could fight if it's not Eubank is Derevchenko. I don't think Derevchenko's fighting him next. So
Brody,
I think that fight.
Jamal Charlo,
Andrade.
Jamal will not fight that guy, dog. He will not fight that guy.
That's the other Andre. I mean the other Charlo in there.
Oh, and lest we forget, Derevchenko is a DiBella entertainment fighter, so I don't know that he would get an opportunity with a PBC guy at this point. Maybe before, but I don't know about now.
I mean, Jamal should have lost to Korobov, so that should tell you everything.
I thought Korobov might have beaten him as well, man. I think a draw, I thought, was probably fair, that fight.
I felt bad for Korobov. He got a knockout loss because his fucking, I don't know, his shoulder or something gave out.
Yeah, he was outboxing Eubank, man. I thought that was going to be a good fight. That ruined that. That was like a buzzkill. I think he was injured before the fight, they were saying.
Oh, you talking about you thinking Korobov, right? That was going to be a good ass fight. But yeah, he hurt his shoulder or some bullshit.
Yeah, you see some people
went to the zone, man. He should have went to the zone. They'd have had his ass fighting.
You see some people get injured before the fight, but they don't really reveal it. I think something was wrong with AJ before the Ruiz fight. I think there's a good possibility there was something wrong with Hayes' leg before the first Bellew fight, because the guy you looked like was limping. I mean, these are just opinions, but it is a strong possibility. With AJ, I don't know if there was an injury, but there's something they were saying could have been wrong mentally. But Ruiz deserves credit because he made the guy make a mistake and he made him pay. But I think Korobov, they were saying he was also injured before the fight. The only thing I don't like is with the Pacquiao shoulder. I don't buy that shoulder thing, man, because during that fight, if you watch that fight, I don't want to really talk about that fight, but Pacquiao was throwing a lot of right hands, and they didn't say anything about the shoulder until after the fight.
Let's keep it short and simple. I don't got nothing against Manny Pacquiao. I respect the hell out of him, but it wasn't nothing wrong with his fucking shoulder, dog. He was fine. You was throwing punches with that arm. At the weigh-in, you raised that arm. If it was really something wrong with your shoulder, you wouldn't even been using that hand, bro. So I mean, it's not even like I don't even entertain that shit anymore. That fight is over. Is Floyd a better fighter than Manny? Yes. But is Manny a fantastic fucking fighter? Yeah, he is. Look at what he did to fucking Thurman. He made Thurman look like a fucking idiot out there, dog. That shit was beautiful. I love that fight. That's beautiful.
You heard what Thurman said? Yeah, Thurman is still... I thought he might have been humbled, but the things you're saying about Crawford, man, I don't know what goes through Thurman's head. So, like they've seen him.
Has probably been the most vocal about not wanting to fight Crawford. That shit is shameful.
Bro, that dude talk hella shit and then say, I don't want to fight him. Just stop talking shit, bro. Stop talking shit. You're not gonna fight him and stop talking shit.
You want all the notoriety that comes with Bud Crawford's name without actually getting in the ring with him. Just like the rest of them. They have no problem doing interviews where they talk about Crawford, but they ain't about to get in the ring with him.
That's what I'm saying. And it's certain shit, right? It's common sense shit. It's common sense shit. Like, look, you could keep it a bean. Like, I don't understand why being honest has to be some alien shit. But Keith Thurman could have been like, look, bro, I don't got nothing against Crawford. I respect him as a fighter, but I'm not really interested in him because I got all these other guys on my side of the street. He could, if he'd have handled that shit like that, it would have been a little harder to talk shit. But the fact that you talking hella shit and you just lost to a 41-year-old man who went life or death with Jeff Horn, bruh, sit the fuck down and have a rematch with Sean Porter. Because we all know that's what the fuck you gonna do. You're gonna have a rematch with Sean for the interim WBC title. It's probably gonna be on free TV because neither one of you are pay-per-view attractions.
Yeah, I would love
probably
to
fuck
see
around, get injured, and then take another layoff.
Bro, that dude gonna get injured and come
see
back in 2022, B. That is the most injury-prone fighter of the last 5 years, B. He got injured before the Porter fight. He got injured after the Danny Garcia fight. The motherfucker got injured in preparation for his comeback and didn't come back till a whole year later. Like, call him Mr. Glass. He's Mr.
Yeah,
Glass.
when he fought in 2017 and then he didn't fight again in 2019. Yeah, that was crazy. He was holding those belts like hostage. I think it's good he lost because that was bad, man. Him having a belt. But I would love to see Crawford fight him because I think Crawford would shut him up.
Crawford
that would be probably a better fight than the Porter.
And Keith Thurman knows it. Keith Thurman knows it. The ghost of Ben Getty is wrapped around Keith Thurman, forming a force field to keep Thurman away from Crawford. Because that dude would get put in the hospital. He would get put.
Yeah, he gets hit
with that body shot in the 10th round against Pacquiao.
That ass, like Manny was making him look crazy. I remember watching that fight, and I'm like, yo, every time Manny lands, it looked like Thurman winces, like he can't take the punches or some shit. I'm like, man, Manny.
How was that split decision? I can't see how Thurman won.
No, wait a minute. I remember. There was some rounds because the way it was on my card, even the fight looked one way, but my card looked another way because when I looked down on my card after I was scoring the fight, I had it 6-6 with the knockdown edging it for Manny.
I think that's too close, man. I can't see how. I get what you're saying, but I just can't see how Thurman won more than about 5 rounds in that fight. That's giving him every benefit. I had that fight about 9-3 to Manny. I think 8-4 was the scorecard I thought was fair. Like, I could see how you could push it to even 6-6, and that's giving Thurman a lot more credit than I think he deserved because I thought he lost majority of those first 6 rounds, but. Like, I just
want to agree with Daniel Cortez for a second. Yes, Virgil Ortiz will beat Keith Thurman's hairline back even further. He will beat hair off that man.
I just think Thurman clearly lost. But I was gonna say, that was another thing. Virgil Ortiz and Crawford could happen. It looks like if you look at the rankings, if they do fast track Virgil Ortiz, I think that's a dangerous fight for Crawford. If he does take it, that's a good fight, but. I could see that being
a good really fight, but Golden Boy don't fast track their fighters, bro. Look at Jaime Munguia. They don't fast track their guys, man. And he's one of the only prospects they got.
I think they're feeding him to Canelo, man. I just think they're waiting for him at the right time.
I think they feed him to Golovkin in preparation for Canelo.
Nah, they're not giving him to Canelo. They're going to feed him to Canelo, I think, at the right time. They just probably... just waiting for the right moment because I think he just moved up to middleweight and he's probably hasn't really done anything at middleweight. Yeah, I think he's had like 1 or 2 fights, but I think they will feed him at the right time to Canelo because he's a knockout waiting to happen. But I personally think Virgil Ortiz got more flip side, but Right now, he's probably not ready for Crawford, but if you talk about a couple more fights, yeah, I could see that fight. But
That's a good fight, but I don't think Golden Boy has enough to go around in terms of prospects that they would sacrifice. They could turn Virgil into some shit, man. Because boy, that kid could box and he could punch, man. That kid is nice. But why feed him to Crawford? Feel me? Why? That's what
that's
they
a tough
say.
weight class. So
That I dig it, but I'm saying if you Golden Boy and you ain't got a deep stable, like Golden Boy stable is not that deep. They not gonna like a dude like Virgil that you could get the Mexican American fans behind him, bro. They gonna wrap that man in a cocoon. Like, nah, we not giving him to Crawford. Fuck that.
yeah, I get what you're saying. But I mean, Top Rank did with Teofimo Lopez. It depends how good I think the fighter is, or if he's
Top
ahead of
rank,
himself.
bro, Top Rank stable. Like people don't realize that Top Rank stable is deep because they have the right relationships. They have relationships with MTK Global. They have relationships with Queensbury Promotions. They are willing to work with Matchroom and other outfits out there. So Top Rank is willing to match they good guys against they other good guys because they got it to spare. PBC is conjuring up the ghost of James Kirkland. That's how thin they stable is.
I see that.
They got
I mean, the
James
PBC is
Kirkland.
just.
That's
PBC is just
crazy,
a letdown.
dog. That you see, they conjured up the ghost of Brandon Rios. They conjured up the ghost of fucking Robert Guerrero. Don't be surprised if Austin Trout end up fighting Keith Thurman or some shit. Because Austin Trout last fight was at 147, and he gonna end up right back on the PBC side of things, looking for a title shot. They bringing up all these old fighters. Like who was the last dude that they brought up? God, at 135, I think it was. Who the fuck was it? I'm like, yo,
Gamboa?
dog. Not Gamboa. Somebody else, man. What fight was that? That I was like, damn, y'all found this dude.
Mike Dallas.
And y'all gave him.
No.
Damn, who was it, man? I'm getting old. I'm starting. I think it was either 30 or 35, man. God, who the fuck was it? I was like, wow, where y'all found that dude at?
Robert Guerrero.
No. It wasn't that. Robert Guerrero was at 47. This is another dude. This one of Lomachenko old opponents, I think. I'm trying to remember.
Guerrero got fed to one of
Martinez?
the lightweights.
Word, Rocky Martinez. That's who I was thinking about. Rocky Martinez. I'm like, yo, Rocky Martinez for who
Gamboa. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, so y'all really found Rocky Martinez so y'all can make Gamboa look like, and y'all give Gamboa a new haircut with a little fast streak on the side, so he don't look like he 40 fucking years old. That shit is ridiculous, dog. Y'all gave Ortiz a hot top fade, so he don't look old. And you could tell it's on purpose. Like, why y'all giving these old ass men these young ass haircuts? They like, get out of here, man.
Yo, Gervonta Davis looked like trash against them, though.
I still haven't seen that fight, man.
They are
Was that a good
destroying
fight?
that man's career.
That was a shitty fight, bro. The whole fight, you thinking like, yo, is this shit over yet? Like, when is this gonna be over?
I missed the Danny and Red Cat
fight
fight as well.
where he was just not throwing punches for like a whole minute.
You missed the weight as well, didn't it? That might have been an impact.
Yeah.
Javante Davis is Adrian Broner with a new Pentium processor because he do the same stupid shit. He go out there, he looking for a single shot to end the fight because Javante, like motherfuckers don't realize Javante don't throw punches in bunches. He's really not a combination puncher unless he got you hurt. When he gets you hurt, like everybody else, he gonna go after you. But in the midst, in the thick of the fight, he is not a combination puncher. So he throwing one at a time and he landing clean on Gamboa. But it's like, bro, why is Gamboa still standing? He don't even have two good legs. This fight should have been over. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
But I will say what at least Broner fought guys like Maidana
and lost.
Whatever. He lost, yeah. But Tank, the last guy he fought, live body he fought was Pedraza, which was almost over 3 years ago.
Broner's like asking for money on a Cash App or something.
Broner.
Them dudes is like low lives, man. Like that's like I keep it a bean, dog. Like Broner, that dude is a scumbag, like and a weirdo.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that whole Cash App thing? He's He's there asking for donations, and the name on the Cash App is About Billions. How ironic is that shit?
Yo, ain't that a bitch? Your name is About Billions, and you asking a motherfucker to let you hold $20 on Cash App like a coworker or some shit. Like, you got $20 I could borrow till payday? No, motherfucker, I
You should
don't.
change the name there, did they? What the? That's messed up. Man. I can't believe that he's actually broke, man. The guy just had a pay-per-view with Pacquiao at the beginning of, what was it, 2019?
Yo, dog, I could listen, bro. I could give a motherfucker right now $10 million, right? And if you don't realize that as soon as you get money, you gotta use that to get more money. If you don't have that mentality, it don't matter how much money you make. You're gonna burn through that shit like a spliff.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I could give a motherfucker $1 million, 10 million. Motherfucker burn through that shit in a week buying dumb shit. Shit that depreciate in value, like, oh, I'm gonna get a Bugatti, you fucking moron. You could have bought some.
What I want to say is the other thing is AB got a high cost of living. He got like 7 baby mamas. He's in court all the time. He's in court all the time. Like,
how many kids he got?
I think he has. I think I exaggerated a little bit. I think he has 7 kids, but I think it's just with 5 women. But
that's a lot, though, isn't it? That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. That's still a lot. And then he's always he's going to court for money laundering. He just got ordered
what the fuck?
to pay over $800,000 for sexual assault. He had that pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao, but he hasn't had a fight since. And then it was like $850 some odd $1,000. That took a big chunk out of his purse. And then keep in mind, he also had to pay Uncle Sam out of that. He had to pay his trainers and all that stuff. So that money probably went real quick.
Bruh, Broner is going to end up right back in the projects because you can't teach a motherfucker. Like, it's certain shit you know. You know what I'm saying? You got a sixth sense for shit. Like, whenever I get a big amount of money, right? Whenever I get a big amount of money, I always think, how am I going to turn it into more money? Broner, dumbass, he think it's 2002. He's still trying to live like a rapper. Like fucking chain. Nobody care about your chain, you fucking bum. You got gray hairs in your beard. You look old. Stop worrying about a fucking chain like you bum. That's some bum shit.
Yeah, he said he did it for the
millionaire. That would be me. I live in the projects, but I'm a millionaire. All the drugs move through me. That would be me, but that's just me.
He said he did it for the hood. Well, they're gonna be welcoming his ass right back to the hood. He keeps fucking around.
He gonna be right back in that shit, feeling dumb as shit. Like, damn, I should have took that Rock Nation offer.
Exactly. That was one of the stupidest things. That's one of the stupidest. Two of the stupidest things he ever did when it came to business is turning down that offer, and then turning down the DAZN offer and burning bridges on both. Yeah, and then he burned the bridges on both of those though, because not only did he turn down the offer, then he turned around and talked shit about Rock Nation, and then he did the same thing to Eddie Hearn.
He also talked shit.
You making too much of that cocaine, bro. That was a long time ago. If you gonna bring up cocaine, I could bring up Artur Akavov. If you gonna bring up cocaine, they talking about Andre and Billy Joe Saunders. They talking about how Andre didn't look good with cocaine, but Billy Joe Saunders ain't look good with Akavov. Fucking Andre made that. Andre couldn't miss that guy, dog. He couldn't miss him. He hit him with everything.
Derevchenko didn't look good against Koke. Maybe Koke might be better than people see. I think
I agree. A lot of people didn't see that fight. I'm glad you brought that up, Ahmed, because a lot of people didn't even see that fight.
I was watching that fight. I was going to Spain, I think, the day before, and I think Derevchenko almost got knocked out. I was thinking Koke must be better than I thought.
He got better. He must have always been decent if he made Andre look. Billy Joe, I'm gonna say this, Sean. Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade have a very similar style. They're both awkward southpaws. They like to counter. They like to stick and move. They got that shit in common. It's just that Andrade is a little bit more unconventional than Billy. Andre, he do throw some strange ass punches, but they be landing. They do be landing.
I think Billy would beat him, and I just think style-wise, Billy's probably wrong for him. But that's if Billy is on his game, man. If he comes in on the weight or whatever, if he sticks like the way he boxes, I personally think Billy would probably have the
I
style.
do feel that. I do feel Billy works off the counter more than Well, that is when Billy bring out his A game, and I ain't seen that in a while. I ain't see that since the
He
Lemieux.
hasn't fought anyway. The last two guys he fought, I didn't even watch the last two fights. The last fight I watched was probably Lemieux, but that was a time ago.
Bro, that
was
Sufi fight was one of the fucking most boring fucking fights I ever saw in my life, bro. And I love boxing, but that shit
was
so
bullshit.
boring, dog.
I don't know how that was a title fight, man. That's Frank Warren for you, though. I did not watch that fight, but I seen the 1 minute clip. I think someone posted it. That was a horrible fight. Then he had a fight with a guy. I don't even know who was the last guy he fought.
That Billy fought?
Contreras, that was the dude that he fought on the KSI versus Logan Paul card. He fought the
You
dude.
never heard of that guy is.
But he knocked his ass out though, so I give him that. He did knock his ass out.
But it was a bad fight again, didn't it? It was like a drag on.
Oh yeah, it was a bad fight. It was a bad fight, but at least he knocked the motherfucker out. That Isufi fight couldn't. That shit was so boring, dog. Right? My God.
I was watching the Andrade Killer fight. I thought he drops him in the first, 2 seconds. I thought this might be a statement, but that dragged on. I think Andrade is busy. The only thing is some of those opponents, I personally think he should be getting rid of them a bit earlier, but as long as he's getting rid of them,
I'm gonna say in a world where Jamal Charlo is going 12 rounds with Brandon Adams, I am not gonna say nothing about Demetrius Andrade. You went 12 rounds with Brandon Adams. 12 rounds.
I get you.
Come on, they had to bring up Dennis Hogan so this guy could get a knockout. They had to bring up Dennis Hogan.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon Adams was that bad. But if you're comparing,
look at Brandon Adams' resume, bro. The dude fought no one. No one. This is what I was gonna say. Bro, that would have been like if Steve Rose went 12 rounds with Gennady Golovkin. That's what that would have been like.
I watched him in the Contender. I personally think if you're comparing Charlo to guys like Canelo and Triple G or whatever, then yeah, I get it. Like they probably would blast through like guys like Brandon Adams. But I personally think Brandon Adams is better than Rolls.
I was good, Josh.
Hey, how's it going? I was wanting to ask you who, if you had a favorite Southpaw boxer.
I mean, it's a lot of Southpaws that's really good. Like I consider Terence Crawford a Southpaw because he usually come out of that stance. So I like him, but I like Loma. He is Southpaw. I like Usyk. I like Andrade. I like Andrade more than I like Billy. I'm gonna put it like that. I like them both, but I do like Andrade a little more than I like Billy because Andrade is unconventional and that awkward shit it throw you off. Like Andrade don't even. Nothing that he do is regular shit. All of it is nuanced. Sometimes he look off balance when he wing shots. I understand that, but he's a little bit harder to read than Billy. Like Billy is still a textbook kind of guy. Like he ain't really awkward like that. Andrade is awkward. I fucks with Andrade.
I feel you. My favorite two are Winky Wright and Vernon Forrest. He was my cousin.
If you mean classically, yeah, you got to bring up Winky. Winky is one of the legendary Southpaws. But historically, I'm going to say historically, the list is so broad that it's hard to think up one name that like, oh, yeah, that stands out. Like, nah, there's a lot of nice motherfuckers that fought out of Southpaw. But
right.
Winky, I think the reason Winky comes to mind is because of that high-ass guard. Like, whenever somebody say Winky, I always remember that high guard. Like, yeah, he was upright as shit, but he was effective, though. He was effective.
Yeah, I liked Sweet Pea and Vernon Forrest was my cousin.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, Sweet Pea go without saying. The reason I don't say Sweet Pea is because that's mainstream. Like, bruh, if you know boxing, you know Sweet Pea. If so, I don't even. That's like one of those. I don't even gotta say like, bruh, if you know anything about skillful boxers, good Southpaws, Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker. So I don't even gotta mention it. But I do like Manny too. I ain't gonna lie, I like Manny a little bit because he fun to watch. I was never a big fan of him But I'm gonna say he fun to watch. He always been fun to watch because he get into wars and shit, and he is Southpaw.
Right. Yeah.
Shit,
I got another.
What about?
go
Oh,
ahead.
I got
Okay,
another
what
question
about?
for you.
All right, go for it.
Whenever you do your videos, you always have them awesome ass voiceovers, man. How do you pull that off every
Oh,
Yeah,
time?
why?
yo,
'Cause that shit
how
has
do you
me.
do that? I've always wondered.
No, it's just like I got that idea from when I used to mess with studio equipment and shit. It's like when you do a ad lib on a song that you know, like you
Right.
saying your shit and then you say the little ad lib in the back. Like, yeah, that's where I got it from. Like from fucking with for many years I fuck with that. So when I'm doing a video, I'm like, yo, it drives the point home if you got the hype man in the background talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you say some
Exactly.
shit and then something will follow up behind that, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm a big fan of your work, bro. I'm a rock with you, family. I'm a
I
rock
dig
with
it.
you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right, from Tulsa with love, baby. Holla at me.
Appreciate it. But yeah, man. I'm gonna say that's really where I got the idea for that too. From like whenever you do a song, like people don't realize whenever you do a song, you either do a stack, which is where you say the whole song is 2 tracks, you say the whole song over, or you do a little ad lib, like when you talking shit. And that's where I got that from. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot of times I could fit in a little shit in there, say a little shit in there, and it's gonna drive the point home because I'm saying that little shit.
Yeah.
But I be trying to say, I ain't gonna lie, I be trying to sound like Skip Bayless, except I know what I'm talking about. I be
I
trying to
hear
sound
you.
like legit,
I like the
like
little. I like the
I be
little.
trying,
Woo!
yeah, like I be trying to sound like Skip Bayless because it's like, yo, even though Skip to me is a casual when it come to boxing, the dumb shit that he say, you remember it because of how he said it. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do some shit where I'm like Skip Bayless and Burt Sugar rolled in a burrito.
I hear you. Yeah. You from New York, family?
Yeah, from Harlem.
Oh, I got family that stay on 145th to St. Nicholas.
Wow, that's right near my old block. I was on 144th between Broadway and Riverside, St. Nicholas. To get to St. Nick, you had to go up the hill, then down the hill. And they used to have it used to be, the last couple of years, it wasn't no Jamaicans out there. But when I was younger, yo, it was wild Jamaican cats out there. They was pitching a bud, and I used to get my bud from right there on 145th of St. Nick. They had a Chinese food spot, a pizzeria spot, but it was always bud out there. Man, but it changed though. It's not the way that it was. It's really
I've only been once, and it was like 8-9 years ago. I couldn't even tell you, bro.
yeah, it changed, bro. Like over the years, because I always my middle school was in Harlem, and then I went to a couple of different high schools, and then I ended up getting kicked out of those high schools, and I ended up going to high school in Harlem at the same building that used to be my middle school. It was the wildest shit. And I seen it change over time that it used to be mad rosters outside on 4th, 5th, especially. But after a while, you just stop seeing them. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Everything changes.
I hear you. Let's see.
You know
Go
can I
ahead.
just say, you know Harlem is part of Manhattan, isn't it? That's what
Yeah.
190.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harlem is
All right.
part of Manhattan, but anybody that's from Harlem, if you from Harlem, right? Somebody asks you 9 times out of 10, what they're gonna tell you is, "I'm from Harlem." They're not gonna tell you I'm from Manhattan. They're like, "I'm from Harlem." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And that's a
that
little,
I never get, man.
yeah. It's because
Yeah,
it's a world. It's a little world within a world. Like it's no place like Harlem. It's no place. So if you talking to somebody that's from Harlem, they're gonna tell you, "Nah, I'm from Harlem." Another a person from Washington Heights will tell you, "Nah, I'm from Manhattan." Or somebody from LES would be like, "I'm from Manhattan." A Harlem person gonna be like, "Nah, I'm from Harlem." Like it's a borough, even though it's not. It's not a borough, but that's how we act though.
yeah.
We
Okay.
act like it's a borough.
Okay,
Yeah, I get
Ring
you.
IQ, I got another question for you, bro. Because I've been
All right.
debating about this with some of the LDBC cats that are on YouTube.
I
You know what I'm
dig it.
saying? And they all ask me why I'm not such a big fan of Wilder, and I give them the same answer every time. And that answer is simply this. You know, I grew up as with Lennox Lewis being, you know, undisputed champion. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm used to seeing and the type of fighters that I like to watch, they are all good, technically sound, textbook boxers. His
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
reply,
Julius, Andy's trying to get back in. I think he said he dropped off, so
I got him.
he just posted his.
I got him. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
yeah. And
All right.
so he sent me a reply saying, who wants to watch two men fight pretty and stay clean the whole fight? The whole thing is about knockouts. And I was like, nah. Being that I'm a martial artist, boxing is considered a martial art and a discipline. So what
Mm-hmm.
is your stance on that?
My stance is I grew up in the same era that you did. Lennox Lewis, Burt Cooper, Ray
Mhm.
Mercer, like all them guys could box. It wasn't like Ray Mercer beat the dog shit out of Tommy Morrison, right?
Yes, he
But
did.
he could box. Like Ray could box. So
Right.
it wasn't just, oh, I hit hard and that's it. Like, nah, I grew up in an era where the big man could box. Holyfield could box. Mike Tyson could box. Fucking Razor Ruddock could box.
Goodbye.
Tyrell Biggs could box. They all could box. It
Hell,
wasn't just
Frank Bruno.
Frank Bruno could box. You know what I'm saying? Oliver
Yeah.
McCall. And he had one of the best chins because unless I'm mistaken, he never been knocked out. At least not in his prime. So I'm like, I grew up in an era where it was a lot of guys that hit hard. So Wilder hitting hard don't impress me because I see
All
where the
the
knockout
technical.
came from. I see that like you knocked out a lot of guys, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them guys wasn't nobody though, dog. Like a lot of 30 something of them guys wasn't no fucking body, dog. Now,
Right.
if I show you Shannon Briggs' resume, look a lot like Wilder's, except Shannon Briggs fought more of the killers after a while.
Yeah,
He
he
because
did.
Shannon Briggs knocked out a lot of motherfuckers, man. I think
Yeah,
he
he
got the
did.
record for most first round knockouts, unless I'm mistaken. But you
Yeah,
don't
he
see
did.
nobody saying that Shannon Briggs hit harder than George Foreman because motherfuckers know better. With Wilder,
Right.
I know better. Like, bruh, you fought 3 top 10s your whole career. 2 of them you didn't knock out. You only knocked out one of them, and that was Ortiz. The first top 10 that he fought was Bermain Stavern, and he beat the shit out of Stavern in the first fight, but he didn't knock him out. The second top 10 that he fought was Tyson Fury. You didn't knock him out either. He got up. The third top 10 is Luis Ortiz. That's the only one that you knocked out. That's what I'm looking at. Can you knock out top 10 fighters? Because Mike Tyson was knocking out fucking champions. He wasn't just knocking out Joe
Yeah,
Blow.
I hate that
Yeah.
Tyson comparison. The thing is this: the Wilders had over 40 fights, but those first 30 were like that was a padded up record, man. I know he didn't have a long amateur career, but at the same time, like when people talk about his record, like a lot of those guys were like literally club fighters. Like if you
They
type on
was,
YouTube or watch
bro.
his fights, the
I
guys
They
fighting
mean,
was like a lot of
and
them
you
guys. A lot of them guys was like bring along process guys. Like they wasn't no world level fighters. He wasn't knocking out world level fighters for years, bro. For like 7 years.
I
Hey,
mean,
but the
Shelly
good.
Finkel himself
Oh,
said that
my
he was a
bad.
baby after those fights. Like after
Exactly.
33 fights, said that he's a baby. So that right there tells you the kind of opposition that he was knocking out of those first 33 fights. So his own manager basically said that it was a padded up record. And then the other thing is just real quick, you were talking about they were saying it's about knockouts and why watch two guys go in there and fight all pretty. A lot of these are the same guys whose favorite fighter is Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
They
true,
that
true.
I'm gonna say, look, they moving the goalpost, bro. That's what it is. They moving the goalpost. That's all. To me, I stopped paying attention to a lot of the shit they say unless they show up on my channel because I realized that they don't put no value on their word. They just gonna keep moving the goalposts. Like, look, dog, what I know is the era of heavyweights that I grew up in. All them guys could box. Larry Holmes can box. All right.
Yeah.
Even Jerry Cooney had a little bit of boxing ability. He had a mean punch. He could punch. You know what I'm saying? So Wilder
Yeah.
getting knockouts over them kind of guys don't mean nothing. Like, bro, most of the guys you knocked out was not nobody. Mike Tyson was knocking out champions. Bruce Seldon was a champion. Frank Bruno was a champion. Trevor Burbick was a champion. All right, the one champion that Wilder fought, he couldn't even knock him out. And you only fought one champion, Bermain Stavern.
Yeah, and to
I
be
don't
wanna say
honest,
this.
you know, to be honest, Wilder, he really owed his WBC title reign to the retirement of Vitaly Klitschko, because without that happening, Bermain Stavern wouldn't have never got the belt. Period.
Yep.
100%.
You ain't lying about that.
If it wasn't for Vitaly retiring, if it wasn't for that, the belt would have never been on the line in the Areola rematch, because he fought Chris Areola in the first fight. Then the title went vacant. They put it on the line in the second fight. That's the only reason Bermain got that belt. If Bermain would have never got that belt, Wilder was not about to fight Vitaly, and we all know that. You was around for 5 years while Vitaly was fighting. You never lined yourself up for him or his brother. So you was not trying to do nothing, bro. If it wasn't for Vitaly retiring, Wilder would not be a champion right now.
Yeah. And you know what else? There's one
I
other
just
thing I
want
want
to
to point out real quick, because you said that they asked you why you don't like Deontay Wilder. Well, why didn't they like AJ when he had a higher knockout percentage than Wilder?
Yeah.
So it's not about the knockout. So I just wanted to point those two things out. They're full of shit because a couple years ago it was all about Floyd Mayweather. Now all of a sudden they want to see the knockout. But then again, you got another guy. Then again, you got another guy who has who's knocking out people too, but they don't like him. So they're full
they
of
call
shit.
him a coward and shit like that, man. That shit is crazy. Like the coward.
I'm gonna put it to you one way, right? Like, why is Wilder not a fun fighter for me to watch? Because it ain't no boxing going on. Most of the rounds, look at a Wilder fight. He literally not boxing. He just waiting to throw one punch, and when the guy slows down, that's when he throw that punch. Like, Wilder's a decent counterpuncher. I give him that he knows when to capitalize on the opening. But it's after a couple of rounds, and it's after the guy slows down, he starts dropping his hands a little bit, or he's standing in front of him too much. But most of the fight, it's the same shit. You watching this man trip over his feet. You watching him miss wild punches and throw wild punches. He not really jabbing. He just floating the left hand out there, floating it out there. It's like, bro, like, that's painful to watch. Like, I don't want. That's like watching Logan Paul versus ASI. I don't want, like, nah. I'm good. I'm good.
Hey,
that
Ring
match is bad.
I got a good one for you. The first fight that I ever paid attention to of Wilder's was when he fought Audley Harrison. And the only reason that I even watched that fight was because at that time they were calling Audley Harrison the heir to Lennox Lewis. So I kind of got behind him a little bit. But ever since then, I haven't really seen too much of a technical improvement from Wilder since that fight.
Do you know what? I'm gonna tell you. You know why he never grew as a fighter? Because of the same reason that Gervonta's not growing as a fighter. They not putting him in there with guys that's gonna pose resistance that he could learn from. Like, if you grooming a fighter, you gotta put him in there with good fighters. Why? So he could learn from them. He might lose, he might not, but he will learn. Wilder didn't learn. If he's still looking the same as he did in 2015, more or less, it's because you got cookie cutter opponents, bro. Like, they didn't put, like, yo, I'm not exaggerating when I say that in 11 years and 43 fights, Wilder only fought 3 top 10s. That's it. Anthony Joshua fought like 8 top 10s, and he only been around 6 years. He only been around 6 years, and he fought like 8 of them.
Right. Now, me and my best friend that stay around the corner, we had this debate from sun up to sundown in between AJ and Wilder, and I was like, no, besides the network infighting that they have going on and making that deal, I see that fight as another Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe, man. I really do, bro.
So do I, bro. So do I. Yeah. And I made a video about that a bean ago that I can believe. The reason I believe there's a chance that they never fight is because the issue that they really have that nobody talking about is Heyman wants a PBC network affiliate to get that fight. He wanted to either be Fox, and before he wanted it to be Showtime, because he makes those promises to those networks. They're like, yo, y'all gonna get my fighters, y'all gonna get my content. The issue with that is Fox is not gonna guarantee Anthony Joshua $85 million. They not, because Anthony Joshua's not a pay-per-view draw here. He a pay-per-view draw in other parts of the world, but here he not. So they not gonna guarantee him that kind of money. And if they not gonna guarantee him that kind of money, then he's not gonna cross the street. That's why I'll be saying it like, yo, in all likelihood, they might not fight. Because Anthony guaranteed money. He don't gotta worry about the upside.
I know what you're talking about, but would it take the zone doing pay-per-view to make that fight? Like, do you think that would be one of the alternatives?
And this is what I'm saying. The only reason the zone is a sticking point is because the networks over here, they're still using that model. They're still using that antiquated model as a means of generating revenue. Fox wants to get in the pay-per-view business. They just had their first one with these PBC cards because remember, Fox, I don't know if you noticed, but Fox didn't used to do pay-per-views. That shit just started, all right?
Yeah.
So
That what I'm trying to say, can I just say this? Would it take, say, DAZN and Fox to do some sort of... I know this doesn't make sense because DAZN operate a completely different way to Fox and ESPN, but would it take something like that, DAZN to do a one-off, I don't know, co-promotion pay-per-view or a pay-per-view on their own to make that fight?
What I'm going to say is you're comparing, like, I understand your question, but what I'm trying to tell you is that it's apples to oranges. The pay-per-view model is obsolete because you cannot guarantee what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get. Whereas with the zone, you got guaranteed cash. It go back to the proverb, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. They want to play around in the bush. They don't know what they're going to get. But you got a bird in the hand, right? If I tell you, yo, man, I got 40 million for you right here. 40 million. You ain't got to worry about if this pay-per-view sell. You going to get 40 million. Guaranteed. That's better than gambling.
I got a good question because this could piggyback to what we just said. So how would you say, if someone was to ask you, how would the Fury Joshua fight happen with the American rights? Like, I know that fight would probably most likely happen in the UK, but how would ESPN?
It would happen. Now, I'm gonna tell you why it would happen, because Bob Arum is gonna get a percentage of those proceeds as being the co-promoter. The proceeds are big enough that they would let him have the fight. If they tell Tyson Fury, look, Tyson, we got 100. These guys in Saudi Arabia got $150 million for you. That's one fight. Remember what Bob Arum said. I mean, remember what Eddie said. $150 million for Joshua, $150 million for Fury. That kind of money, the cut that Top Rank could get for that, they'll let him have it. Like, bruh, if we put Fury on pay-per-view here stateside, we ain't gonna get but maybe a couple million. Because look at what the Wilder versus Fury fight did on pay-per-view in America. 24 million. Half goes to the cable and satellite companies. The other Fury probably got like 7-8 million off of that. That ain't shit. But if Fury getting 150 million, the percentage of that's going to go to Top Rank is great enough that they would let him have the fight. Because
that's true.
Go back to slow money is better than no money.
So ESPN would let him do a deal where Fury would fight on.
And remember,
I get that. I think
that's remember the magnitude of the fight and realize that Top Rank realizes that this would be billed as a pay-per-view in the United Kingdom. There are going to be other countries that pay a flat fee to air the fight on their networks, and those are all potential revenue opportunities that we might not get a whole chunk out of the American market, but out of the global market, we can get something interesting enough that we'll let him have the fight.
Right. Hey, Ring IQ, I got another good one for you, family.
Not good.
I seem to be under the impression, and this is just a little bit of speculation and a little bit of truth, but I'm under the impression that I think Fury might take a dive on this fight because Vince McMahon didn't guarantee that man $13 million to show up at WrestleMania.
That's possible. That's a good point.
That's a fair point, and I think that's worth considering. But also consider that the Saudi Arabians quite vocally have put a bid in for that fight with Joshua. That's more incentive for him to make it to that point because you're talking about $150 million. That's a lot of. That's more than you were. That's more than you gonna make at
Right.
WrestleMania. That's more than you gonna make over here. And because I see Fury hired Emmanuel
I hear you.
Stewart,
I hear you.
he hired Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, so that tell me that if nothing else, he mean what he's saying, that he's gonna try to knock out Wilder. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it, but he mean business, that he gonna go in there and he gonna try, because he trying to make it to that Joshua fight. He could retire off of that fight. 150 million, he could retire off of that fight. He don't gotta fight nobody after that. That's why he thinking about retiring.
Yeah. Yo, you reckon they have a third fight if
Yep.
Wilder knocks Fury out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there'll be immediately?
Oh no! Wait a minute! No, if Fury get knocked out, I don't know if there's gonna be a third fight. If Wilder
Yeah.
loses, I think there'll be a third fight. If Wilder loses on points, there'll be a third fight. If Wilder get knocked out, I don't know, B. I don't know.
Yeah, who's that? I was gonna say, if Wilder knocks him out, I don't see the point of a third fight. If it's like a one-sided, if it's a one-sided fight or one-sided knockout or whatever, like I don't know why you'd have a third immediate fight. Like the option then would probably be Dylan White or AJ.
I'm gonna say if it's a violent knockout, it's hard to imagine that Fury's gonna come back to seconds. If it's a violent knockout,
Because he almost got knocked out in the 12th round, and if that happens in the, I don't know, in the 8th or 7th, and Fury's out cold, and this time,
that's
you
what I'm
can't get
saying.
him. I don't know how you sell the third fight.
If he end up making the Luis Ortiz face in this rematch, it's a crap, dog. Fury not coming back for that. Fury thinking about retiring. That's real shit. He really thinking about retiring. So imagine you thinking about retiring and you get fucking cold slept. You're not coming back for a third fight. It's gonna be like, you know what, Wilder, you got it. You better than me, and that's it. And I did what I could, and I'm Tyson Fury, and that's it. And that's it.
What would
Honestly,
you guys
if Wilder
say?
wins, I don't think there will be an undisputed match.
Nah, me neither.
Anytime
I
soon.
don't. I agree with you, Andy. I don't. I agree with you 100%. Because Wilder is not running his career. That's the problem. He's not running his career. If he was running his career, and you really believe you could knock out Anthony Joshua, then why wouldn't you make all that fucking money, man? You've been in the game 11 years, bro. This is heavyweight boxing. You don't want to end up with Parkinson's and shit with the shakes, like Freddie Roach or some shit.
What would you guys say to this though? If Wilder could have knocked him out and he landed his best shot, like what chance has he got of knocking him out again? Like he landed his hardest shot, Fury got up, but Fury hurt him, and that was Fury at 70%. Like this was a debate I was having, like on one of the
The
podcasts.
issue I see here is the extra weight that Fury's putting on. I don't think he's gonna be as mobile, so he'll be there to be hit. I think.
That's possible.
No,
That's
but
definitely possible.
Say if he's similar posturing, position, or weight or whatever to the first fight, and it's similar fight, like if Wilder does hit him again, like I don't know, maybe the only thing I could come up with, that was the 12th round. Maybe Wilder might hit a bit more harder if he's early on, because you know the old saying is if you catch someone cold, it can hurt a bit more. Apart from that, I don't know. Like I think that's a good point. Though Wilder did hit him flush in the 12th round, and Fury did get back up. The only thing is, if he's put down again, do you reckon the referee will give him the chance again? Because if that was another ref, I don't think.
For the sake of the event and the magnitude of the event, the precedent's already set forth by the first fight. I think the referee will try to give both guys the benefit of the doubt. Look, Wilder got the benefit of the doubt in the Ortiz fight because he was getting rocked. I think that was in the 8th. I seen fights get stopped for less shit than that. I seen fights get stopped for less shit than Ortiz fucking up Wilder in the 8th. So the referee's going to give both of them the benefit of the doubt. Even if Fury get dropped flat on his back, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt because they're going to be looking for that Undertaker. That's what they're going to be looking for that. Like, oh, is he going to do it again? Let's see. If he don't do it, it's a wrap.
I got a feeling Fury wins this fight, man. I seriously think Fury.
Oh, shit.
I think Wilder's getting worse. I'm not lying. That Ortiz rematch, I was not impressed. I'll rewatch some of those rounds. The Brazil fight as well. Like, I just think he's become too dependent on his right hand. I don't know if he's slowing down, but to me, I think
hello?
unless Fury mentally is something wrong with him, I think Fury should win this fight. And maybe
Wilder-
might do a bit more convincing.
Wilder is 34, maybe 35 going on. And he had a lot of surgery to that right hand. A lot of people don't realize that, but he had a lot of surgeries to that right hand of his because he do hit hard. You know that. He hit hard, but he's not a big guy. So when he connect with them right hands, that shit be fucking his bones up. That's why he got rods and shit in there because he be fucking that hand up. He can't do that but for so much longer, man.
I think it could also be an issue with punch technique over the
Oh,
years.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Wilder said I personally think the first fight, I know he wasn't winning rounds, but he said that he's not going to be rushing or looking for Fury. If he does what he did against Ortiz, sits back, I think he get picked apart. And he could get stopped as well.
Well, you got to
I mean, he still got...
Wilder's bread and butter, believe it or not, right? It's the funniest shit because Wilder's bread and butter is losing the rounds. Motherfuckers go in there, they have a lot of success. They get real comfortable. They start opening up a little bit more because they've been landing a lot of punches. They see Wilder's often off balance. Footwork ain't shit. Punch technique is weird. All he's doing is floating the left hand out there. They get cocky with him, start opening up too much, and then they get caught. That's the shit. Motherfucker gotta have the ill situational awareness to realize, yo, just because I can hit him with a 3-punch combination doesn't mean I should, because he's looking for me to open up. He's a counter puncher. Wilder is he don't got no style, but if he do something, he do counter punch. When he knocked out Ortiz, Ortiz was trying to, I think he parried Ortiz's jab and fired the right hand down the pipe. And that's why, because Ortiz keep opening up.
Ortiz dropped his guard. And I know what you mean, but Ortiz made a mistake for about, I wouldn't say 1 second or 10. I'd say it's about almost 3 or 4 seconds where he's like, holds his guard and he smiles and bang, Wilder sees the window. I will say this. If Fury is anywhere near as good as he was against Klitschko in the Chisora rematch, I can't see Wilder landing that right time, man. Because if Klitschko couldn't land that, I know Wilder did in the first fight. I personally don't think Fury was anywhere near. I think he was about 70-80% of his best. Shape wise, the guy hadn't fought a live board.
Vladimir needed to land the jab. It's different because Vladimir is a methodologist. He's got to touch you with the jab.
Yeah.
He's got to touch you with the jab to fire the right hand. And if he can't touch you with that jab, he gonna keep that right hand cocked. Wilder is different because he just do a lot of wild shit. That it's like he not a methodologist, dog. He don't throw setup punches. Like he don't be setting shit up. He just wait for a motherfucker to drop his hands a little bit and fire the right hand down the pipe. That's what he do. He do it damn near every fight.
No, I get what you're saying. But
was making this man trip over his own feet. He was making him miss a bunch of punches. But when did Spilker get caught? When he tried to throw a left hook. That's when he got caught. You got too confident. Too much success. Got to chill out.
No, what I meant was Vlad couldn't line the guy up. Range. I was talking about range. Like maybe he struggled with the guy's reach and whatever. But we've seen when Wilder was winding it up, Fury was just slipping, sliding. If he does the exact same thing, I just can't see him landing it. Maybe, I think, personally, I do think Wilder needs to be the aggressor. If he sits back, I personally don't think that's a good tactic. But if he does what he did in the first fight and he doesn't get caught, it could be another close fight. Because I think some of those rounds, you're right, the judges will probably give it again to Wilder, but it depends how he boxes. I personally don't think that's a good tactic because we've seen Klitschko try doing that, sit back, wait. You see all the rounds going. I think Fury will pick him apart. It's an interesting fight.
That's why I said that I'm thinking about buying that one because that has no intrigue. I don't know if Fury gonna win it. And those is the only fights I buy. Like Thurman and Pacquiao, I bought that. All right, I bought that. Was worth it.
Yeah, that was worth it.
That's a good fight. But I ain't buying no motherfucking Gamboa. I mean, fuck fucking Davis versus Santa Cruz. Fuck all that. Like, I'm not buying that dumb shit. Put it on pay-per-view so I can steal it.
How's that?
Put it
Hey,
on pay-per-view.
Hey, this fight with Fury is one of those very rare Wilder fights where you don't know who's gonna win the fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you could say that about PBC fights just in general. Like, you know, everybody knew Danny was gonna beat Red Cat. Like, every once in a while, you get the occasional surprise. Like, I thought, J-Rock was gonna beat Rosario, and he didn't. So
Word, that's true. And I'm gonna say that's a different situation because the situation at 154 is it ain't really a lot of A-level. I mean, is there an A-level fighter at 154? Nah.
I don't think
it ain't. It ain't no A-level. The A-level motherfuckers could go in there with a stylistic disadvantage and still get the victory. We saw Floyd do it. We saw Canelo do it a little. We did see that. It's all of that, and that's a trademark of an A-level fighter that you don't always have the stylistic advantage, but you win the fight, and that's what determines if you are A-level. Them guys down there is rock, paper, scissors all day. Rock, paper, scissors. It's just gonna keep happening that way.
I think that the closest thing to an A-level fighter over there is like Lara.
Yeah, and then he like 1,000,000 fucking years old.
His legs are gone.
Yeah, Lara's legs are gone. That's why he fighting in the pocket now. Same with Rigo too. Rigo's legs is gone. That's why he fighting in the pocket. He gonna get knocked the fuck out one of these days.
True.
He gonna get knocked the fuck out. Like I gotta watch the footage on Liborio Solis because that's who he's fighting next. Because Rigo looked like he's gonna get knocked out in that other fight with that Spanish guy.
Oh, that was a bad. What was the referee? That was a bad decision. Premature stoppage,
It wasn't a terror. It wasn't a terror. I seen worse stoppages than that. But
no, but it's like in the context of the fight, like I think at least give the guy a chance. Like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like he got dropped, didn't he?
The ref was trying to save Rigo, bro. If they not letting Paulie Malignaggi say what he think, the fucking referee is on the take, bro. PBC is an island, bro. That shit is like fantasy island.
That's why I think Fury shouldn't have went to Vegas, man. They should have went back to New York, LA, or New York. I think they're gonna try and do some crooked shit in Vegas, man.
Oh, you fucking know it, dog. You know it.
Hopefully you don't. I think the good thing is Bob is in Fury's corner. I think Bob. It's good they go with Bob. I think just with Warren that would not have been good. I think Bob is a powerful guy, and I think that's the saving grace. Yeah, that's the saving grace. Otherwise, Heyman would have.
Hakeem is asking if we think there's an A-level guy 168. I do think there's an A-level guy 168. It could be. It could be. I don't know yet. I don't know. We ain't gonna talk about Canelo. Canelo is in a different planet. If it's a guy with the potential to be an A-level boxer that could transition from one base style to another, I would say it's Caleb more than anybody because Caleb could be a pure boxer, but he could be a boxer puncher too. He was fucking up. What's his motherfucking name, man? And he scared James Gale. Uskateki. He was beating the shit out of Uskateki. He was fucking him up. I was like, yo, this is incredible.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I do think Benavidez has potential.
Oh, yeah, I do. I think, but Benavidez, I do think he has potential, but it's hard to imagine him. Benavidez is a boxer puncher, and I think he's going to stay a boxer puncher. I think he's just going to be that because he really not a pressure guy. Yeah, he hit hard, man. He's fucking Anthony Durrell up, man. And I said he was gonna fuck him up. Like, of course, I think everybody said he was gonna fuck him up.
I was gonna say 168 and 154. For me, the last couple of years they're similar, although at 154, I think we're getting more upset. So maybe that's why the division is a bit on the high. I think that's a bit unpredictable. With 168, I think we need to see a unification because after the Super 6.
Look, Callum, let's be honest with each other, fellas. Callum don't want no parts of Billy. That's what it looked like. Joe Gallagher, he over there making faces whenever they say Billy Joe name. Over there making faces, looking at Eddie like, nah, son. We don't want that gypsy smoke. We don't need those problems. We want to lose to Canelo. That's who we want to lose to. We don't want to lose to Billy
should have
Crystal.
lost to Ryder.
I thought he lost to Ryder. I mean, I could see a draw maybe. Like, I know some people thought he might nick it, but
Davis
I
is
thought he
not
got lucky.
23 years old, Sean. Davis, he 25 years old, Sean. Say
Who's
he.
shot?
Oh, I thought you was.
He's
Oh,
25 now.
all
He's
right,
25.
Sean. I thought you was talking about Javante Davis. That dude, ooh, I don't like Javante Davis.
Yo, you see what he
When
did
it
to
comes
the
to PBC, I think Sean Porter is one of the only PBC fighters who has a decent work ethic.
Yeah, he
See
does.
these guys blowing up.
He's
in
the only
between
PBC
fights.
guy I like, man. Apart from Pacquiao and Nikim. I
There's
don't
like
like
Errol
many
Spence
PBC guys.
involved in a street fight recently. Some dude.
Oh, where he was in a street fight?
Something
Yo,
like that.
Errol
It's like him
finna
and
be a
some
train
random
wreck,
guy.
bro. Errol finna be a train wreck, man. If he fighting in the street, but you don't want to fight Crawford, you a moron, dog. Like,
Yo, he's
There's
got
some
some
video
drinking
on-
problems.
bro. You shot in the
The
street,
video
like
on Instagram. It's like him and some dude chasing some guy down the street.
Who Spence or Porter?
Spence and some random guy chasing some dude down the street.
Is
Yo,
he? I can't remember about that, man. Did someone post that online?
No, it was recent. Like very
Oh, I
recent.
think it was a rapper actually that was involved in.
Like,
I
I
forget
think
what
Yellow Beezy or something like that.
Yeah. I don't
Oh.
keep up with any of these new rappers, but yeah, Yellow Beezy.
They were together chasing someone, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's wild,
he's
dog. Spence trying to be gangstalicious. That's the problem. Spence don't want
yo, you reckon?
that you a boxer, bro. You not a gangster. You a boxer. So be a fucking boxer and box people. He want to be a gangster.
Like
Yo, you
Adrian
reckon he
Broner,
got-
1, 2, 3.
Yo, you reckon he's gonna end up like Kovalev, like have problems from the drink, like?
Yep.
Or-
That's exactly what I reckon. He's gonna have them kind of problems.
I mean, he already had one problem. You know, that's what caused him to flip his car. So he's already there.
Oh no, I meant inside the ring. I meant inside
No, yeah.
the ring.
Oh,
You
yeah.
reckon-
His condition is gonna suffer for it because alcohol ain't good for you, dog. Not when you gotta punch people in the face and get punched in your face to make $1. Can't be doing that.
Yeah,
shit.
you can't be doing after the accident, man. At least lay low. I don't know if he's still drinking, but
Yeah,
there's
he's
obviously
still
signs
drinking.
of the
Man,
guy.
you didn't see
Yeah,
he was
there's
at a
signs.
party recently. He was at a party. He was
He's
partying.
all over there. Yeah, he looked tipsy and that. Like that's not a good sign. I was gonna see.
Especially when the guy looks like he can barely make 147.
Word, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna fight again this year. I think he will maybe towards the end, but I don't think he's gonna be May like you're seeing.
Shit is crazy. Yo, dog, at the end of the day, I don't know what the long-term plan for the PBC is, but it doesn't look like they have one. So they conjuring up fucking James Kirklands and shit.
I seen that.
Gervonta
James
Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz.
Who's that? Gary Russell or
Gervonta Davis
Gary
versus
Russell
Santa
has
Cruz.
fought once a year from.
Yo, I gotta
2015.
look at more footage of Tug because my spider sense is telling me that they setting up Gary because Gary was talking shit about Al Heyman, and now they put him in there with a live one.
I hear someone is saying that the guy Gary Russell is fighting is a good fight. You might be onto something. I heard that.
Who's Gary fighting?
Could be tough.
I heard some things about Tug, but I gotta have a look. I'm gonna do my little breakdown shit later on this week. But I got a feeling, man, my spider sense is tingling. Like, oh, they setting Gary up because Gary been talking too much shit. Like, Gary, you gotta leave Al Heyman alone. Just let him play with his friends.
What happened to? Can I just say what happened to Al Heyman? The 550 million he blew. Like, what happened with the Waddle and Reed? Like, didn't they take him to court or something?
I mean, it's basically the way it breaks the common sense argument for what happened to Waddle and Reed's money and why you really can't hold them accountable is, motherfucker, I ain't tell you to invest in me. I blew your money. I'm sorry. that's
What the?
basically what happened. I lost your money and I'm sorry. Do I think he lost their money? No, I think he stole it. If you want to know what I think he stole it. He's got it hidden somewhere and he's living off of that. But as far as why they can't do nothing about it, because those are the breaks.
So you know all that money was that spent on the PBC in 2015, whatever when it was launched. That's a lot of money, man.
Bro, you gotta be listen, bro. You smart. He didn't spend all that fucking money on the fucking. You remember the matchup that you have? Like, bro, he didn't spend all that money on the PBC. Are you nuts? He got that shit in a Swiss bank somewhere.
So I was just wondering why Fox invested in him, like give him another deal. Because like, would you give another guy a deal after someone like that blowing that much money? Unless he's got someone close with Fox, like those guys are Fox, like. Because the way he dumped Espinoza was crazy.
I'm gonna say this, bro. Without being too much of a conspiracy theorist, I think that there's more going on there than meets the eye. Because why would Fox want to invest in a guy that blew $500 million? What the fuck? Like, bro, I'd be like, yo, get the hell out of my building, dog. Get out of my office, dog. What you trying to lose my money? Get the fuck out of here, dog. Something else is going on there because it stands to reason. You blew $500 million, dog. Get the fuck out of my office 500 million times. Get out of here, dog. I'm not investing money in you.
I thought they did okay in 2015 and whatever, 16. Like when they make fights like Porter, Thurman, what was it, Danny, Lamont. I thought those were good fights. Like, but then it just went downhill from about 2016.
All right,
17,
let's put
whatever.
it this way. Look at the PBC from its inception, right? From its inception, which isn't that long ago because they only been around since 2015, right? Think about all the quote-unquote big fights they've had. Do you think that Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman can cost you $500 million? You think Julian Williams versus Jamal Charlo can cost you Lara versus Hurd? Like, bruh, I'm telling you, he did something with the money. It's somewhere, and he's living off of that.
That might be the 50 million of the 500 might be the money they were coughing up to make that Joshua Wilder offer, whatever.
Nah, that money was already.
You know why it might be? Because he can't tell motherfuckers, look, you know that Waddle and Reed money that I blew? I didn't blow it, I stole it. I got it right here, but you can't tell motherfuckers that. You can't tell people that.
Yeah, Red.
One thing I will say is this: years ago, the PDC was very different from how it is now. Remember, they used to have like the fancy ring walks and shit. You know, it was like borderline WWE type shit, and now it's back to basics, basically. Like,
bro, they don't even got fucking ring girls, all right? Matchroom has fucking Kiara Gomez, Samantha Kumiko, motherfucking. Yes, right. I know their names, dog. I know their names. All right.
Well, seriously, they don't have any.
He did his research.
You watch a PBC card, they might as well have a guy walking through.
You're crazy.
Shit, like, how you not gonna have ring girls, man? Like, you crazy?
Well, they banned them or they just don't have them. I didn't really realize that.
Nah, they don't have them. Between the round, all you could do is go take a piss between the round.
I remember there were some journalists complaining about ring girls, saying that it's sexist or something like that.
Yeah, that was in the UK. I think that was in the UK, but ain't shit.
Nah, I don't see no problem with them. I think.
Look, if a girl want to hold up a card in a bikini, that's her prerogative. She free to do that. She getting paid. Shit.
Yeah, top rank and Golden, was it Golden Boy, Tecate, whatever? They do a good job with that. Like, I didn't know.
Generic Cremets. Everybody know Generic Cremets.
You know all the names.
Fucking right, I do. You goddamn.
I don't know the names.
Yeah, I don't know any of the names either. You gotta give it to Green IQ. He does his research.
Yeah, he does his research.
When you shape like that, goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But, like,
yo, what was the scene? What about? Do you reckon January is a good month, man? But I don't think it's a good month. I really don't watch any.
Nah, but
February.
February might be a better. Well, really, things ain't gonna pick up till March and April because there's a lot of big things happening in them months. Teofimo and Loma, they looking at.
That's not till May though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right. But Inui versus Casemiro is gonna be around that time.
Oh, that's a good fight, yeah.
That's a good fight. I think it's gonna be a couple of other good fights, and they talking about making Better Be versus Bivol right now. I'm hearing rumors they talking about making that shit.
Yeah.
It's about time.
If that happens, that's a good fight. What about Mikey Jesse? I don't know if that's a big fight.
No, that's a good
I
fight.
mean, I don't know if,
Bro, I'm telling you, I
You
think that's
reckon?
gonna be a good fight, like low key, because Jesse don't hit hard, so he not gonna get the respect that Errol got. Like that shit might be a Mexican war. It might be one of those. And remember,
This
we
guy
got
drew
Ufai
Delome.
versus Gonzalez. That's a good ass fight. Your father Gonzalez is a good ass fight. Like I was, woo! Thank you, boxing gods.
I don't like the Brook fight, man. When is? I don't even think I'm watching that.
Listen, bro. The only
I've lost
reason I'm
interest.
watching that card, if Steffi Bull, if you're listening, Steffi Bull, the only reason I'm watching that card is because of your fighter, Terry Harper. If it wasn't for her, I would not be watching that card. Seriously.
She's fighting.
She's fighting Eva Wallstrom. That's the only reason I'm watching that card. So I can see, because that's going to be a good fight. Brooke DeLuca, the only intrigue is Brooke going to look the way he did with Zarafa? Because if he do, he need to retire.
I think Brooke should have fought Jeff Horn, man. I would have liked to have seen that fight.
I would have loved that. I've been saying that for 1,000 years. Brooke versus Horn. But Horn got a big fight. He about to fight Tim Zeus. He about to fight Costa Zeus' son.
Yeah, I heard that's a really big fight in Australia. I didn't know. I didn't know they're really that big in Australia.
Yeah.
And I mean, he beat Manny.
Did you see Horn versus Zarafa too? Did you watch it?
I seen the knockout. Yeah, that was a bad.
I'm gonna say it's just like Lou DiBella said in the boxing social video. What he said is a true point, that when you got guys that's fighting at the same level, that guys should be fighting other guys that are at the same level, because you get good fights. Like I would not mind watching Hogan versus Keeler. That'd be a good fight. Or Hogan versus
Keeler?
The guy that Andre just beat up.
Oh, Keeler, yeah.
Or Liam Smith versus Dennis Hogan. I would like to see that. That's a good fight. Or like Callum Johnson.
Jaron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz.
I would like to see that. I would like to see Callum Johnson versus Joe Smith Jr. That's a good fight.
You don't get that in America though. In the UK, you got fights like AJ White when they're both like 14 or 15 in a row. You got fights like Dubois and Joyce. I know Joyce is old, but like in terms of professional fights, they relatively had not many fights. In America, you don't get that. Like I don't know, maybe
I'm not going to say that. I know what you mean, but you're talking about the PBC. You're not talking about Top Rank, because that's a part of the building process that Top Rank does. They may not fight an undefeated fighter, but they'll get a step up. They're like, all right, motherfucker, you're going to have to take everything you learned to win this fight.
PBC,
PBC's the ones that
PBC, you don't get that.
They're going to give you applesauce till you 30-0. They just going to keep feeding you applesauce. Like, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Like, fucking applesauce and sardine fights.
Every once in a while, you might get some applesauce with some cinnamon.
Word, right? A little bit of cinnamon.
I thought Spence when he fought Brook wasn't a bad fight, man. I know, like, the whole eye surgery and shit like that, but Spence had fought virtually no one. And Brook, I thought, was live in that fight. I agree with anyone for picking Brook. Like, I agree with
you, Ahmed. I agree with you, Ahmed, but we got to be real. If you Spence's handler, right, and you watching a Golovkin fight, right, you watching that shit. You handle Spence's career, and you watching Golovkin beat this man from pillar to post in 5 rounds. I want his title. You next.
Yeah. No, I get you.
You know what I mean? Look at Thurman. Look at Keith Thurman. Kell Brook was the champion for 3 years before he even fought Errol Spence. He was the IBF champion for 3 fucking years before he fought Spence, right? Why Keith Thurman wasn't putting all that Paulie Malignaggi energy in Brook in them 3 years? Why you want?
That's what I'm saying. I think that night Brook probably would have beaten both Thurman and Danny. I remember Thurman and Danny had a unification. I just think Brook was that naturally gifted. I know he's become a waste of career, the guys he fought, but prior to that fight, like, Spence was very inexperienced at that level. He hadn't fought anyone. I thought it was a good matchup. Like, obviously, Brock was obviously nowhere near what he was before the Sean Porter fight, or even after that. But it was also down to, I think, perfect matchmaking. Like, I thought he was live. Brock was live in that fight. But obviously, I think some people overrate the win. Well, I think some people underrate the win as well. I do think Brock, in the fight, was in more better condition than Khan was when he fought Crawford. I know Khan had...
I'm gonna say, look, I look at Spence versus Brook in the same spectrum that I look at Wilder versus Ortiz, in the sense that yes, that was a good win. It was a good win. It was the best win that you had up until that point. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not that big a win. It's just that your resume is type thin and you needed something and you got it. But beating Kell Brook don't make you king of the hill, because Kell Brook wasn't king of the hill. So why the fuck would beating him make you king of the hill?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, I agree with that. I was gonna say it's more of to see the guy at that level as well. Like we never seen Wilder really take a shot. I know he got hit a couple of times. I think it was by Harold Sconias or was it Dustin Nichols? But when he started knocking out those guys, he didn't really. I think he might have, was it Ortiz, you said, actually, he did get hit a couple of times by guys like Eric Molina, but he didn't really face a real live competition until Ortiz. Same with Spence. I think although Spence had only like just over 20 fights. But
everybody wanted to see him fight AJ. We know.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I don't think Spence was number one after that fight. Like I still think
no. I mean, a lot of people forget what was going on at that time, right? Tim Bradley around that time. Tim Bradley was still a ranked fighter. Manny Pacquiao was still a ranked fighter. Keith Thurman was a ranked fighter. Brook was not at the top of that totem pole. It kind of went from Tim Bradley to Manny Pacquiao to Keith Thurman for unifying the titles. Brook was never the number one guy in the welterweight division. So it stands to reason. If he was never the number one guy and his resume was already thin, and the same motherfuckers that sucking Spence's balls now is the same ones that were saying the same shit that everybody was saying. Brook resume is thin. After beating Sean Porter, you have not fought nobody. You didn't fight nobody before Sean, and you haven't fought nobody since Sean. That was all you did, and that was a competitive fight.
Yeah, Brook held that belt hostage, man. Similar to what Wilder's doing. Although I think Wilder's held on to his belt now a bit longer. I think Brook, after what happened to Golovkin, his career was
Smarty, this is what I'm going to say to you. You half right, Smarty. I'm not going to disagree with you, but you also got to realize that Brook had a Jesse Vargas unification match that he could have had. Instead, he want to be an idiot and go up there playing with middleweights. And that's what the fuck you get. Great. He dared to be great, and he got 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Sean Porter Brook rematch, man. If Brook, say, he looks decent in the fight with DeLuca, I know he's at 154. If they could do some sort of catch weight, I don't know if Porter's going to be up.
Brook versus the winner of Horn versus Zoo. Make it happen.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't want to see the Porter fight. Like Porter and Brook, I still wanted to see a rematch. I know the fight wasn't that good, but I thought it was such a competitive fight. I know some people think Brook clearly won, but it was, I thought it was an interesting fight style-wise. I was gonna say, but I think right now you can't make an argument. Spence is probably number one.
Hold on. Let me talk to Sufami. The fight didn't fall through. There was difficulty with the purses at first, but they had ironed it out, and Vargas had signed his end of the contract. He was waiting for Brook, but that's when Eddie Hearn popped up on Brook and offered him that Golovkin fight, and he took it. The Vargas fight was all but done, and they was waiting for Brook to sign the contract. Brook decided to be great, and he got his face broke.
What fight did he get more money for, though? Yeah, obviously I'm not defending Brook.
I mean, he would have got more. I mean, as far as money, there was more money in the Golovkin fight, and that's why he took it, because there was more money in it. The Vargas fight wouldn't have got him that much money.
I think that Vargas fight was a tough sell. I know it was unification.
He could have been a unified champion. He could have been.
Yeah, no. I'm saying as a pay-per-view in the UK, I think that would have been a tough sell because what they were gonna do was put Eubank and Golovkin and Brook and what's his name, Vargas. I think more people would have probably been interested in Golovkin and Eubank. Once that fight, whatever fell through or whatever, Eddie Hearn got Brook. Then everyone started talking about the Brook and GGG fight, even though GGG was a middleweight, didn't it? I think then Eubank started getting shit. I personally think what they did with Brook was they sacrificed the guy, which I was looking back now.
I just, for the sake of the card and what legwork had already been put in, they sacrificed Brook. Like, yo, you want to go fight Golovkin? It's a lot of money. All right, Diddy. The big fat.
Yo, if he knocked GGG out, where would have you ranked him as a pound for pound?
Ah, man, if he did not Triple G out, I
thought
mean,
he had him in round
his
two.
resume was so thin, though, dog. I mean, it would have been weird because you would have had to say, damn, Brook really ain't fought nobody, not really, just Sean. And he goes up there and beats Triple G. I think my reaction would have been like, damn, Triple G must not have been shit if Brook could knock you out.
I was at that fight, though. I think there was accumulation. I think Brook is not as small, I think, as some of the other welterweights. I personally think he was big. Obviously, he's still a welterweight. I don't think many of the other welterweights could jump up 2 weight classes and be in a competitive fight. I do think Triple G,
look,
obviously.
Man, Arrow is actually has bigger dimensions than Brook, slightly bigger, not by much. Slightly
I think
bigger.
Arrow will get destroyed, though, man.
Arrow will get demolished. Like, he will get put in the hospital if he goes to middle, especially given how he's looking and everything that's going on with him now. Longevity is not on your side based on how you live in your life. You got to live clean, bro. You don't want to be clean. Don't go to middleweight. They're going to fuck you up. They're going to fuck you up real good. Go to middleweight. Fight Canelo. So that'll be funny. That shit'll be the funniest shit in the world. These dudes that have a heart attack, like, no, Arrow.
That'd be massive. Canelo would just. That'd be bad not to make him, but.
Yeah, but a lot of these Arrow fanboys will tell you that he would knock out Canelo. Like,
what the
they're delusional as fuck.
That dude could not knock out Mikey Garcia. Canelo will wipe his ass with him and throw him in the trash disposal. Like, bruh.
I'll tell y'all what. Bookies love fanboys. They love them.
Oh yeah.
Because they won't hesitate to take your money over your stupid ass bias. But I'm actually gonna get off. Thank you so much for having me. Bring out Q. Keep up the good work. And shout out to Hamed. He's a good friend of mine, and everybody else on the panel.
I'm gonna bring Real Spit on. Real Spit is over here crying it. The hate for Errol. What's the hate, bro? What hate is being given to Errol Spence? He could not knock out a lightweight. So why would he do anything with Canelo, dog? Did you just not see Canelo go to 175, quote unquote, Real Spit? Did you just see that? You didn't see your boy Errol Spence drinking and driving? Like, stop! Don't suck fighters' dicks on my channel. We don't do that here, dog. I don't care if you look up to Errol or he live down the block from you. I don't care about that shit. I'll be noticing that shit. Like, motherfuckers be in love with athletes. I'm not one of those, bro. This ain't that kind of channel.
To fight Crawford.
Word. Errol will go up to middleweight, and them guys up there will beat the shit out of him. I know that.
Porter was on him. You seen how Porter was on him, so shit. If Porter was on him, you know Canelo gonna be on him.
Exactly. And I said, and this the shit. I said before the fight, I said it here on the channel, I said it on Instagram. Sean Porter is not no slouch. Why y'all acting like Errol just gonna knock him out? I got Errol winning on points. Now everybody fell in love with Sean Porter. Like, oh, Sean Crawford need to fight Sean. Nah, fuck out of here. Shit. They talking about some Crawford like Ugas. Like, why Crawford got? If Errol is everything you think he is, why can we not get Crawford versus Spence?
Yo, after that fight, I thought Spence had a really good chin, but the way he's taking those shots, we all know Crawford and Thurman and Pacquiao all, I think, hit harder than Porter. I think Porter sometimes smothered his shots. I was thinking, I know Spence would be a prohibitive favorite over Thurman. I was thinking if Thurman lands, I think Thurman would have a puncher's chance. I definitely think Pacquiao and especially Crawford, if they land on Spence, even though he's got a good chin, I think he could get knocked out because you can't be walking into shots like that. Porter was making him walk into some huge right hands. Like the guy's neck was
Errol
snapping
Spence
back.
would not beat Tony Harrison, Smarty Jones. He would not beat Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison would embarrass him, dog. Tony Harrison is not only bigger than Errol, but he has a stylistic advantage. He's a pure boxer. Errol is a boxer puncher. He will run circles around.
Who would you pick? Would you pick Pacquiao over Spence right now if they fought just after the Thurman fight?
That's a
Say if Spence
that's
has one
a
fight.
big gamble, bro. That's a big gamble. Real big gamble. I don't know what's going on with Spence. Like, I literally don't know. Is he okay or is they just faking the funk? I don't know. I'll tell you Errol ain't what I'll tell you that Errol is showing me that he's not what I thought he was. I thought he was better than that. There was a time I liked that guy.
I still got nothing against him. I just think he's flawed personally. Like, I think he's got a good chin, but your chin can only take you so far unless you got like a Triple G chin or a Hagler chin. Like, the guy was walking in straight lines. I think Porter exposed him. Like,
He ain't really got hit though like that clean. We ain't really seen Errol get hit clean like that. You feel me? Have you?
I think Kell Brook hit him clean, but not as much. Porter
if you go back and watch the Porter fight, there's one in one of the mid rounds. Porter landed, I think, a left hook to the body, and that shit I never seen Spence agonize like that. Like, his head snapped back. How much that shit hurt him to the body? All right. The dude is deteriorating. That's what I see.
But the fate, though, I was asking about the fate. I was talking about the fate. Have you ever seen him get clocked in the head?
I did a long time ago, but it was so long ago that I don't make too much.
You're talking about that African dude, right? Mm-hmm. That dark skinned dude that cracked him and he spent around a little bit.
And that was and the reason I don't make too much of it is because that's a long time ago. It's like Brook and Carson Jones. Carson Jones had Brook. Brook got a chin.
Thurman when he got dropped by Thurman got dropped by the Quandary Robertson guy. Like, I don't really look at that too much unless like it's something suspect. Well, Wilder Harris Corney, the way they got rid of the footage and Wilder since his chin, I think his chin is his chin. Like Thurman, I think answered some question.
You can't find it anywhere on the internet.
Someone said he was on the internet a couple of years ago.
Bro, you believe in Errol more than Errol do because Errol don't want to fight Crawford right now. So you pissing in the wind and it's getting in your pants. If all the shit you say is true, we would have seen that fight by now. Stop coming over here.
Hey, Ring, you already broke this shit down. You already broke it down too many times on why this fight might not happen. So if niggas been following you, they should already know.
You made about 100 videos about that topic.
I think for all we know, Errol might wind up like what's his name, Felix Verdejo after his accident.
Oh, that's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Oh wait,
you never know.
What? Hold on. Who you say you gonna end up like?
Felix Verdejo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Remember he had a motorcycle
accident. Word. I hope he end up like that. So Real Spit don't ever watch a boxing game.
You cold, bro.
His life. I hope Errol lose every fucking fight.
If he do, you know they're gonna create so many motherfucking narratives behind that, talking about the accident and he wasn't himself. You are hear all that shit. You feel me?
Let me ask. I'm gonna be laughing because they the ones that was telling me that he good. Like, all right, he good then. So no excuses, bro. He good. You told me he was good. I got screenshots. Y'all told me after the accident he's good. So as far as I'm concerned, he's good.
Facts.
I got a question for all the panel. If you had a choice between one fight,
looking like Mr. Hyde in that mugshot, talking about he's fine.
Word, right?
Yo, I got
Crazy.
one question. Like, if you had a choice between 1-5, either Wilder, AJ,
Wilder,
Assumo Wilder, or
Wilder, AJ
Crawford
ain't no
Spence.
division like the heavyweight division. Wilder,
You'd rather
AJ.
see that over Crawford Spence.
Wilder,
I don't
AJ.
know, man.
Spence is
Crawford
not.
Spence.
Yo, bro, think about it. We know Spence ain't what they think he is, right? But Wilder actually has a chance of knocking out Joshua. That cannot be discounted. He has a chance. Wilder
You
has more.
basically saying that's more of a 50-50 fight, right? That's more of a 50-50 fight. Yeah.
No, but what I'm trying to say is this is two undefeated American fighters in their prime. I don't know I don't think there's not many better fights than this.
I've been telling you this for a long time, right? Nothing against my fellow Americans, but it's a lot of Americans out there that are really fucking dumb, bro. All right? That's real shit. It's a lot of dumb fucking Americans out there, and that's the way it is. If they were smart, you create the demand for the fights that you want to see. The problem is they don't want to see that fight. I've been telling you the whole time. They don't want Crawford.
That's a really good point.
You create the demand. Bob Arum, Al Heyman, Oscar De La Coca cater to what we tell them we want to see because we the money. We got the money. So if you seeing people always making excuses for Errol not to fight him, it's not just that they trying to make a narrative. They really don't want them guys to fight. They scared of what's going to happen because look at what happened with Rigo. Talked all that shit. They talked all that shit. And then what happened? Rigo ain't just lose, bro. He quit. He quit.
Yeah.
Hey, what did they say after the fight, though? They said he was small. They said Lomachenko was too big for him. They made all the fucking excuses in the world after that fight. But it's like you said, though, if they got all them subscribers, IQ, if they got all them subscribers, why all them subscribers ain't buying the fight? If that's the case, then the numbers should be way better. But it's like you said, they ain't really backing up the demand of the fight like they could if they really was backing a narrative like they creating out there.
Bro, the way the shit break down, right? The American market is not a complicated market per se, but if you're seeing that things are happening the way they're happening, it's more simple than it looks. It's that they don't want Crawford to fight Spence. They don't want Crawford to fight nobody at the PBC. Why? They know what's gonna happen. They like that. You think they need me to tell them? They don't need me to tell them. They know what'll happen. Put Danny Garcia in there. I bet the rent he'll beat the shit out of Danny Garcia. I bet the rent he'll beat the shit out of Keith Thurman. Them guys is not competitors. They don't have that drive. Like I'm gonna use Teofimo as an example. Teofimo don't need this Lomachenko fight, but he want it. He don't need it, but he want it. He could be fighting fucking Journeyman, but he want to prove I'm better than him. I want him. Y'all think he the shit? Give him to me. I'll show you what he is. That's because he a fighter. Them PBC guys are not competitors. Floyd Mayweather was a competitor. He ain't just like, oh yeah, I just like money. Nah, he like beating the shit out of you. He like being who he is because he a competitor. Them guys on the PBC side is not competitors. The only one I think is a competitor is David Benavidez, Sean Porter, motherfucking Caleb Plant. Those is competitors. Like I could tell them guys, they want to prove something. But a lot of them other guys, they don't want to prove nothing, man. They don't want to prove nothing, man. Julian Wells, I still consider him a competitor. He's still a competitor.
Yo, I want to see this though about the demand for Wilder AJ. I know they're both not Americans, but look at the money that was available, 100 mil, whatever. Everyone wanted to see that fight. The fight didn't happen. Like if the demand was there for Crawford and what's his name, Spence, we probably have the same issue, man. There's too much network and all this. Guys who are fanboying.
Nah, that's the thing. The divide with Joshua and Wilder, right, is different because the platforms are different. You know, DAZN is giving guys guaranteed cash, whereas if you make it about Crawford and Spence, hold on. If you make it about Crawford and Spence, Top Rank want to put on pay-per-views too. They do.
But they were both on Showtime, bro. Joshua, when he fought Parker and Klitschko, whatever, I'm pretty sure he had a deal with Showtime, and Wilder's on Showtime as well. I know the demand wasn't there for them to fight until about 2018. But they both were on the same network as well. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
Like,
you
so-
can't overstate Showtime's relationship with Anthony Joshua because it was like a co-promotional kind of relationship. You understand? That like Joshua is not fighting in America as a result of him being with Showtime. If the relationship was strong, then Joshua would have been having fights in America. Y'all trying to get him to fight in America. That's what Showtime was trying to do. But y'all ain't got the kind of money that he want. That's what happened. They don't got the budget.
I'm not putting down Joshua. Like people use that to say it was AJ's fault or Hearn's fault for not making the fight. I was just saying when they're both on the same network, Wilder's own whatever network couldn't make that fight. Like Espinosa and those guys, they fiddled around. They started making the whole. They tried putting that fight on PT, and this, they basically they didn't want the fight, and they turned down deals. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I think that's a big problem, whatever, because it's too many promoters and a lot of them don't really like working with you.
No, that's the shit. We can't say that because we're using PBC as a yardstick for the whole of boxing, and that's not what's going on. Jose Ramirez crossed platforms to fight Maurice Hooker. Is that or is that not a fact? Bevo is a Matchroom guy. Better Beav is a top-ranked guy. Is they about to fight? Yes, they is. Golden Boy. Linares is a Golden Boy / Taken Promotions fighter. Vasil Lomachenko was a top-ranked fighter. Did they fight? Yes, they did.
But this is what I'm trying to say. You got one guy who's not willing to work with others, and that's the bad thing about boxing because there's so many. You're gonna get guys like this. I get what you're saying, though. It's not all of them.
My only point is that it's not as bad as it seems. It's not as bad as it seems. It's just that PBC is the main ones that we be complaining about. But the other outfits, they are working with each other. Main Events is working with everybody. DiBella's working with whoever's willing to work with them. You see what I'm saying? Even the smaller outfits is making things happen. So really,
that's true. But the biggest fights involve one of or two of the PBC fighters. Like AJ Wilder was arguably the biggest fight that was involved in the PBC fight. I'm not saying it to hype up PBC. What I'm trying to say, these are big fights that didn't happen. And if you're a UFC fan, MMA fan, and you watch that, like you look at boxing and you say that's not a good look. Like I'm not saying it's all the promoters, all the networks, but the PBC, the way they've done business, man, it's given a bad look for boxing. Like you get your average fan.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not going to disagree. If that fight don't happen, and it might not, I'm just letting y'all know it might not. If it don't happen, it's a bad look for boxing. But if it don't happen, I want y'all to realize that the world, not me, the world, not just America, the world is gonna blame Al Heyman.
Yeah,
right.
Crawford, Spence.
They're the only ones that's not really working with other people. So.
And it's becoming obvious. It's becoming obvious. Gervonta Davis fought Pedraza and no one else for the subsequent 2-3 years, and there was people to fight. Bachelt was there, Ito was there, Farmer was there. You ain't fighting none of them. You can't hide it no more, and that's the shit. When you tell these motherfuckers that shit, they don't try to hide it anymore. Now they making excuses for it. Like, oh, well, he trying to have his. Well, I don't care if he trying to have his own shit. I want to see these fights.
Like what Keith Thurman said in that interview about Terence Crawford, saying that he just one guy and he could fight PBC fighters, he could fight Errol Spence, he could fight Danny Garcia again, he could fight Sean Porter again. He even had the audacity to say that he could fight Mikey Garcia, who isn't a PBC fighter. And it's funny that they would say Mikey Garcia when they would say how Terence Crawford ain't done shit at welterweight. Well, what the fuck has Mikey Garcia done at welterweight?
Exactly. And that's the shit. That's the shit I'm talking about. That Keith Thurman, right? Look, when you good at something and you proud of yourself, you want to touch your medal. I know that. That's something I want to see how good I am. Them guys don't want to know how good they are because they're not competitors. They don't. It's not about being the best of them no more. Now it's about just opportunity and shit. They opportunists. It's not even really a sport to them no more. Like, you don't want to be the best. You don't want to go down in history. You don't want to do all that shit. All right, Keith. Motherfuckers not gonna remember you. You think motherfuckers gonna look back and if Keith Thurman retired today, Who the fuck you think is gonna remember
Keith
that guy?
is
Like, oh,
irrelevant,
that's the
man.
guy that,
I think Keith
the
is
guy that
irrelevant.
fought the Puerto Rican kid and subsequently did nothing after that.
I don't care about Keith or Danny, man. Danny's last fight I didn't watch, and I've been watching all of Danny's fights since. I think the only one I missed was a fight with Paulie Malignaggi, because that was like no brainer. I even watched the Sulka fight. I mean, a lot of these PBC fighters, I've slowly losing interest, man. What was the other fight I missed? Gervonta Davis one. I didn't bother watching that. I think the last couple of mismatches. I think the bad thing is when this is happening is it's obviously not a good look for boxing, but it's also isolated.
It's going to hurt the PBC because they're trying to isolate themselves. But
Yeah.
those boxing fans that are skipping those cards are going to be funneled to what other boxing is going on. Because look, your Fire is about to fight Chocolatito. Hardcore boxing fans is going to watch that. The ones that ain't hardcore boxing fans is going to tune into Canelo fights, but Canelo ain't on the PBC, right? So you still going to get the viewership. But PBC's long-term strategy is going to hurt them. This Mike Dallas fight this weekend with Ugas, I ain't watched that shit. You didn't even mention that shit. I didn't even mention that shit. Like, brother, I'm not talking about this dumbass fight.
Yeah, but that's what I don't get, though. You know, these guys who are like, you know, when DAZN was barely in the market, these guys were shitting on DAZN, making videos, and you got the sheeps in the comment section and the whatever followers repeating their rhetoric. Where you look at DAZN now, DAZN are arguably probably putting on the best fights. Like, I wish DAZN
has the best stable. DAZN literally has the best stable. That's not even debatable. That's not because we're not just talking about Matchroom. We talking about all of DAZN, right? Hey, Canelo. Remember when they said they ain't gonna be able to get no big names on DAZN? And who went over there? The biggest name, Canelo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And on top of that, you're not paying any pay-per-view. I know it's about $20 now. I think it's a bit cheaper before, but if you get the 1-year deal, I think it works out cheaper. So you add that, like you're only paying $100, and PBC put on 2 pay-per-views. Those are like, what is it, $150? And a lot of their pay-per-views, I don't even think are worth it. And they're not really making the best fights in the house as well. Like Gary Russell and Santa Cruz should have happened.
I'm gonna put you this way, bro. Look, you got guys that get up every morning, right? And they go to YouTube and make videos, right? And they tell you that the fight is dope and all that, and the fight night roll around and what they doing. They streaming that shit, all right? These are the type of psychopaths.
I don't get that. I've never get that.
No, but I'm saying these are the type of psychopaths, and they don't realize, yo, that's self-destructive, bro. You talking that shit, and long term, the shit you saying is not. It's not going to pan out, not for you and not for the PBC.
So what do they do with the super? They don't pay for pay-per-view. Like, I get what you're saying, man. That exposes their own stupidity. Like, but same people to defend those pay-per-views as well. But they ain't willing to pay for.
That I hear every so often from PBC shows that fighters in DAZN don't get much exposure because DAZN's an app. I don't get it.
I don't get that shit. I don't get that shit, but I'm like, look, dog, at the end of the day, here's reality, right? 2 of the biggest names in boxing, 2 of the biggest are right there on DAZN. They only view boxing as if it's an American market. They don't understand boxing is global. There is a global market. But if you just want to limit boxing to America, okay, 2 of the biggest names in American boxing are right there on DAZN. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Gennady Golovkin. Your boy Charlo want to fight with them. They don't want to fight with him because they don't need him. Your boy want to fight with them. You're not going to see Canelo call, I need Charlo. You're not going to see Golovkin. I need Charlo. They don't need you, bro. You out here fighting Brandon Adams and going the distance, bro. You are irrelevant. You do not matter. All right? That's the reality of shit. And that is the biggest. Those are 2 of the biggest names in American boxing as far as American fight fans. How do I know they're 2 of the biggest names? Because their pay-per-view put up the biggest numbers in American boxing in recent memory. Their pay-per-view, 1 million bucks for the first fight, 1 million bucks for the second fight. No pay-per-view since then has put up those kind of numbers. Not one. You have to put 4 or 5 of them together just to get 1 million. Wilder 325,000 with Tyson Fury. Then the Ortiz fight, that was 275,000. Let's call it that. Then Spence versus Porter, 275 again. That's not even $1 million yet. That's still not $1 million. That one fight with Golovkin,
Even half.
Yeah, like it ain't. That's why I'm like, yo, you think about it, two of the biggest names as far as American boxing fans and what they follow. If you want to just limit it to American boxing fans, okay, well, two of the biggest names in American boxing are on DAZN. That's Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. Now, I'm not dumb. I know that boxing is a global sport and Anthony Joshua is a global star. That's more money. That's more eyes. When you got Saudi Arabian investors building arenas for you to fight, because they want you to come fight, it's like, bro, like that's a different level, man, right there, dog. You got the sheiks in the front row.
You're right. You should have seen my live vision that it's more money to fight Wilder than Joshua. I couldn't believe when I heard that shit. Like, when has it been more money to fight Deontay Wilder than to fight Anthony Joshua?
Who said that?
When did it happen?
And that's why.
Oh, you should have seen my live stream.
Bro, that's why this year, I'm like, if some shit is so dumb that it hurts my eyes when I hear it, I'm not even good. I'm not even, because I'm like, yo, this is childish. Like, what on earth are y'all talking about, dog? What on earth are you, like, I'm not even going to do it. Like, you know what?
And
because I can't, it's certain shit that's too dumb to argue. Like, I'm not gonna argue that dumb shit. Like, not you I just can't do it.
Yeah, and then there was some people that was about how Wilder should be X-side and all that shit, and I'm like, and he should get 50-50. I'm like, bruh, why should Wilder get 50-50 when AJ is done more? He's a 2-time unified champion and all the shit division. And I said, okay, if y'all don't want to go off of that, let's go off a dude that's the PBC runner. Let's go for Floyd Mayweather ever give anybody 50-50 when he was the A side.
Nope. And here's the shit.
Floyd was giving people 64, 70, 30.
And why do I respect Floyd? Because he paid the fucking cost to be the boss. So when you put in the legwork like Floyd did, I respect it. Now, Anthony Joshua, he put in the legwork. He made the sacrifices. He overpaid Charles Martin to ensure that he gets that title shot. He overpaid that man. And he been overpaying motherfuckers ever since. Paid the cost to be the boss. So now that I paid the cost, bro, I'm not bending over for y'all. I'm not doing, like, nah, you bugging out. Why you want to get what I get when you ain't did what I did? I'm out here putting it on the line with these top 10 fighters, and you over here recycling Cubans that's 41 years old, really 51 years old. Nah, get out of here, bro. You know what? That's what get me mad about Anthony Joshua is he don't put that motherfucker in his place. That's what get me mad. Like, talk to him like what he is, bro. Like, bro, look, you either want to fight me or you don't, but you're not getting half. It's that simple. It's that simple, bro. You are not getting half. We will not fight before you get half. How about that? Do you still want to fight or not? If you don't want to fight, we know why. We know why. He don't talk. He not talking to him regular. He not like it couldn't be me, dog. Like I'll be like, yo, look, dog. This is how it break down. 40% of a fight with me is worth more than 2 Tyson Fury fights. You just gotta have one fight with me and get that. So you either want it or you don't. The bullshit.
If AJ gives Wilder 50-50, he should get like a trophy or something.
Yo, he should, because Wilder it's not, oh, Wilder don't deserve it. Bro, this is boxing. Boxing don't work like that. It never has. From Sugar Ray Robinson to Sugar Ray Leonard, the Oscar De La Coca to fucking Floyd Mayweather, bro, the A-side call the shots. Y'all don't want to respect it. You know why you don't want to respect it? Because you don't want to gamble with that dude. You scared that dude is going to beat your boy, and I see it. I see it. If y'all felt y'all
even Leonard Ellaby said that shit, bro. You're right. Leonard Ellaby said that shit when they was talking about Tank Davis arguing about being the lawman Tank Davis. Tank Davis is the A side, and you don't make demands to the A side. So how is Wilder making demands and he ain't an A side? I don't get it.
Exactly.
And DT3, to expand on that, there was this one interview where Leonard Ellerbe said that you could be the best fighter, but you could also be the biggest star. When he was in reference to
Yeah, that's why I said they want to make under the scrutiny he under. They want to make him a star. They want him to be the boxing star. They don't care if Tank Davis go in the Boxing Hall of Fame. All they care about is Tank rubbing elbows with Beyonce and celebrities. That's what they care about.
He fucking that all up though right now. He fucking that all up right now.
That's the same shit I thought. They're like, yo, look, they don't want Gervonta Davis to be talked about with the Pernell Whitakers and the Sugar Ray Leonards. That's not their goal. Their goal is to try to make him like a hybrid celebrity, and he don't even gotta be that nice because we not never gonna put him in there with a killer. We not never gonna put him in there with a killer. We just gonna keep spoon feeding him these fucking gimme no hoper fights in hopes that we could fool enough people that he could be a star. Bro, ain't nobody dumb out here, man. Your boss fought real motherfuckers. So we expect you to fight real motherfuckers. Your boss, Floyd, he fought some real motherfuckers. You got to do that. That's facts. I don't care who don't like Floyd. That's the truth. Floyd did not have to go after Oscar. He wanted to. He did not have to acquiesce to a catch weight. I mean, to go up to his weight. But he did. That's risk taking because he knew he could beat him. Now, if Gervonta Davis don't do that, well, it's because you ain't cut from the same cloth. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the Manny Pacquiao situation. I mean, I was feeling that way when I first was on it, but when I did my homework and I did my research, and everybody was talking about how Floyd fought Pacquiao past his prime and blah, 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 and I did my research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Floyd older than Manny. So exactly. How do you, and I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan by no means. Don't get me twisted. I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan by no means. I'm a fan of Pretty Boy. I'm a Pretty Boy Floyd fan. I'm not a Money Mayweather fan. But when I saw that Floyd Mayweather was 38 and Manny was 36, and I'm about to be 36 in 10 days, I think Manny felt pretty damn good going in there against Floyd, if you ask me.
Remember, hindsight is 2020, right? We looking at a Manny Pacquiao in 2019 that beats an undefeated Keith Thurman, right? He could beat an undefeated Keith Thurman. But we supposed to make excuses for Manny losing to Floyd all them years ago? No, Manny was fine, dog. It's just that Floyd was better. I'm not saying Manny's a bad fighter. I respect Manny. I think he had a great career. But Floyd was better. That's all. That's it. No biggie. Fighters lose fights all the time.
Especially when you fight top, especially
all the greatest fighters got lost
because they fought top competition. That's why they fought top competition.
Get his fucking flutes and get the fuck out of boxing. Yep.
But Keith don't need to be boxing, bro. After he said that bullshit, and then he didn't even answer the question when dude asked him. He literally asked him, "Why you not fighting Terence Crawford?" And he gonna literally say, "What? That's one guy. That's just one guy. You know, I could fight these other cats and all that other stuff." And then he was like, "Okay, all right, I'll give you that." So Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to ESPN and Top Rank. So he can't go to no other network and fight. But you dudes can.
What if I told you I said that a year ago when he signed the exclusivity contract that Errol is telling him to cross the street knowing that he can't because he got an exclusivity contract. And that tells me you don't want that fight because you're telling him to cross the street knowing that he can't. But you can. You just don't want to.
Right. So that didn't, when he asked him, he was like, he literally asked him, well, we all know that Crawford is contracted to ESPN and all that, like I said, and you guys at the PBC, the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spencers of the world, y'all are on the fight-to-fight basis, and y'all not contracted to no networks. Y'all not contracted to Showtime. Y'all not contracted to Fox. So if y'all really wanted that fight, y'all go over to Top Rank real quick, ESPN, and get that smoke and go right back to fucking PBC and do your third thing. Exactly. So why you won't do that? And he couldn't answer the question. He didn't answer the question.
Bro, the writing, like when it comes to Keith, the writing been on the wall since it was about Spence and Thurman. That Keith is not really a competitor. That bro, not for nothing, you really don't want to be the best because it's a fight for you right here. Before it even became, remember, and this is sad. Before it even became about Spence and Crawford, it was about Thurman and Spence, bro. That shit seemed like it was years ago. Like it was about Thurman and Spence. Like, who's the best welterweight? It's between Thurman and Spence. They got to fight, and now that shit don't even matter. You let that one go.
I'm not ready.
You let that one go. Like, motherfuckers don't even care about seeing you fight. Like, I don't care about that fight no more. Like, bro, I already know what you made of, Thurman. Like, you not bringing no A game. You're not trying to win that fight. You're just trying to get paid and be on pay-per-view. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not trying to win that fight.
Yeah, that's why they only fighting like once a year.
Word.
There was that one video where Spence was telling Crawford to his face, "Why would I not take the easy route and knock out Sean Porter?"
That should have told everybody everything right there. When Spence said that in front of God and everybody, Bob Bam, Jesus, Muhammad, everybody. He literally said that on air. The internet is undefeated, bruh. You literally said, why not take the easy? If I was Sean Porter, I'd have been so offended. I would have whooped Errol ass. I don't give a damn. He don't say
really?
no, take the easy route.
Really, Sean kind of did. Because Sean, he didn't think it was going to be. Errol didn't think it was going to be like that. You could tell, man. He thought it was going to be an easy night. Like, that's Sean Porter, dog. Like, say what you want. Nobody has an easy night with Sean Porter.
That's true. I give it that. Because when he said that, I was like, bro, why would you disrespect Sean like that? And he a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really know how to scrap. And then you're going to sit there and basically say, I don't have to fight you. I could go take a lesser opponent in my opinion or in my head and not even fight you. I don't even got to worry about you. And then another dumb thing he said when he was talking about Al Hammond, he was like, so Terence said, so Al didn't say nothing about Terence. Huh? He said, nope. He talking about Mikey Garcia. I'm like, what? Who is Mikey Garcia now in the welterweight division?
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that Al, and I ain't even being funny. Al got them guys brainwashed, man. Like, they think that shit sound good when they say it, and not realizing, like, yo, you exposing yourself. He asked you a loaded question. He asked you if Al Heyman mentioned me, and you said no. Like, it wasn't shit.
No, he didn't say nothing. Yep, he didn't say nothing. He mentioned Mikey Garcia. He mentioned Thurman. Yeah, he mentioned Manny Pacquiao. Like, for real, bruh?
That's and I'm gonna say that I don't think that Errol realized that, like, yo, bro, he just got you to show your cards. It's chess, not checkers. He asked you in front of the cameras while the cameras was rolling if your boss, because we know that's what he is. If your boss mentioned me and you just told us, nah, he don't got no plans for me to fight you. You let the cat out the bag, didn't realize it. You let the cat out the bag, like, nah, they don't plan on fighting Crawford.
So basically, ain't gonna be no Spence and Crawford. If we go off of that right there, it's not gonna happen. The Spence Crawford fight is not gonna happen.
Bro, I've been saying that shit for a bean now, that I don't be surprised if they don't fight, because
wow.
Don't be surprised.
Wow.
Al Heyman is more concerned with the promises that he made to Bill Wanger when it come to his fighters. He's promising them that they will have content when it come to his fighters, and he don't have enough fighters to spare. That's why they conjuring up motherfucking James Kirkland and the ghost of fucking Brandon Rios and Robert Guerrero still fighting for some reason. Like, bro, your stable is thinning out. Your stable thinning out. You don't got the bodies to spare. That's why you won't let Spence fight Crawford. You ain't got the bodies to spare.
And Danny is the number one in the WBO, and if the WBO mandate him, I promise you he goes up to 54.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They trying to make it like, first the narrative was the WBO don't rank PBC fighters, and they didn't even look at the WBO ranks. Sergey Lipinets and Danny Garcia been in there for months.
Yeah, and Keith Thurman even said at the end on the interview as well. He said, "Don't nobody want the WBO." That shit. When he said that, I was like, "Bruh, for real? Like, really?"
He had a point. I'm gonna say he had a point where he'll say anything. I could hear the fear in his voice. That he don't want, like, bro, he know Crawford will ruin him, dog. If you thought Manny beat him, bro, Crawford will ruin that man. Like, he won't sit down the same after a Crawford fight.
He'll give him that Ndongo treatment, that body work.
Because we all know Thurman's soft to the body.
He gonna shit fluid for the rest of his life.
Pacquiao had him spitting out his gum shield.
Like, that's real shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the conversations that we having, right? It's all hot topics. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, I could see Wilder not fighting Joshua.
Me too.
I could see Spence never fighting Crawford. I could see it happening that way because they don't care. They don't want to.
They really don't. They really
Well, I
don't.
They
think
don't
if
want to be the best.
Fury beating Wilder would save the heavyweight division. I think.
It really would. It really would. Fury beating Wilder would save heavyweight boxing as a whole. I promise you, but I still got Wilder beating Fury. I just got a funny feeling that it's going to be some tomfoolery that's going to happen, and it's going to go Wilder way. And I promise you, if that fight go 12 rounds again, Wilder is going to get the W. It's not going to be a draw. Wilder going to get the W. I promise you. If it go 12 rounds again, which I doubt. I highly doubt it will. But if it does, I think they're going to give it to Wilder.
It fuck around might because they too invested in the guys that they got. They invested in Wilder. He's a big part of their bottom line. The same is true with Spence. And they not going to let nothing happen to them guys, man. They're going to do what they got to do to keep them guys as part of their bottom line. So don't be surprised if it go to the cards and somehow Wilder wins the decision. For doing what?
For doing what? Right. Like in the last fight, that judge gave him 6 rounds. What the? Like Wilder win 6 rounds.
6 rounds that Wilder. Like, huh? Come on, B. Like y'all
enough windmills in there to light up the venue.
Now.
Like it's Manny, bro. Like it's really Manny what's going on, and talking to you now got me thinking because I've been on my whole little PBC hype, and I ain't been doing videos because of the drama with the PBC. These dudes ain't trying to fight nobody. You got Jamal Charlo. I like Jamal. I'm gonna go on record and say I like Jamal because Jamal is actually fighting 54 pounders and winning. So I can't really say too much bad about Jamal. Not too much.
I think the same thing that. If we gonna look at Jamal, he fighting the best guys that he could fight that's there. He's in a fortunate situation that a lot of the good guys happen to be on his side of the street. So I can't knock his career because he doing more or less what he should do. You know, he won his belt back by knockout. I said he would. Good. The next logical step is to unify. But Jamal, it's a different situation because look, dog, you either gonna let them keep matching you with Brandon Adams's and Dennis Hogan's, or you gonna cross that street. It's your decision. They don't got you locked into Fox, and they don't got you locked into Showtime. So if you want them fights, you got to make a decision. We see what decision you making. You rather fight Chris Eubank than Demetrius Andrade. I don't got nothing against Chris, but Chris don't got a belt. That's facts.
You not IBO no more?
Man, I don't count that shit. I don't even know if he do got that shit. But if he do, I don't count that shit. And like I said, Chris Eubank is not a bad fight. It's just, yo, bro, they offered you $7 million, bro. You don't want $7 million? Really?
I'm sure you do.
Shit.
I'm sure you do. But like I said, I told them I tell people all the time, the PBC fights, they not fight for. At first, I was saying these dudes fight for money, but then you look at it, Eddie Hearn is offering these dudes more money than they've made in their whole career in one fight, damn near. And they not taking that fight. So yeah, they not fighting for money, bro. They fighting because they want to have full dictation and control to where everything is gonna go their way. To no matter if the fight go 12 rounds or whatever, it's gonna go their way. They're gonna get the decision. That's what I'm peeping. They want full control. So everybody on the PBC side is the A side. They can't be the B side. They can't relinquish no type of control. They can't not know who the judges were or can't have none of the judges on the payroll. It can't be for a sanctioning body that's not for the PBC fighters. That's why they sold WBC.
Bro, it's some WWE shit. Like that's the level that they want to get it to. That like, yo, we have our star characters, our star roster. These are the characters in our story. Like, that's what it look. That's what it resembles. That it's like, yo. You want it to be more of a TV show than a sport. Like it's like a TV show. Like these are the characters. Like this the Seinfeld character. This is Word up.
Yeah, man.
Like yo, you know what? And not even on no joking shit. It's like yo, I'm legit. Like I'm watching less and less of they fights because I'm like, yo, dog, I know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get fucking Ugas versus Mike Dallas. That's what I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
I'm not staying up till 11. I'm not staying up till 11. I'm old. I'm getting old. I'm not staying up that late to watch that shit. All right, and I know Mike Dallas versus Ugas on FS.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm cool. It's like and I was telling people earlier, you know what I'm saying, about how I grew up watching boxing. I grew up in the Mike Tyson era, bro. I grew up when there wasn't no internet, wasn't no social media, it was barely cable, and when Mike Tyson fought, everything shut down.
Hell yeah.
Everybody was watching the Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the era I come from. So the way that it's going now, it's like, who is doing that? You know, Floyd kind of had it in his time a little bit, but nobody really just shut the world down like Mike. When Mike fought, you know what I'm saying, everybody wanted to see that shit. And
hell yeah. That's facts. It was a feeling like, yo, when Mike Tyson is fighting, B, we gotta sit down, B. The whole block, the whole block of gather around like it's Mother Goose. Everybody huddled in somebody out there for the fight. It's not like that. And these guys,
that's what I'm saying.
You gotta wonder, like, yo, these guys, why'd you get into boxing? Like, you might as well retire now if this is how your career gonna go. You might as well retire now because the shit you need to make it, y'all motherfuckers don't got it no more. Y'all don't want to be the best. You don't want to prove that, like, yo, I'm the shit. It ain't that many James Tonys running around. It damn sure ain't no more Roy Joneses. Roy Jones wants to be the best at everything. These guys, like, I don't know, man. They don't want to be the best.
You got fucking pound for pound Twitter champion Gervonta Davis.
Oh, they don't even respect the pound for pound. Keith Thurman said that. He let that be known. He let that cat out the bag. He said pound for pound list is not even relevant. And I'm like, wow. Okay, the pound for pound list been around since before you was boxing. Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?
Exactly.
Fighters nowadays.
And he said that shit with conviction.
Bro, he said it like he meant it, bro. He said that from the heart.
That's fucking crazy, dog. I'm like, yo, so you just don't want to be shit, huh, Key? You not gonna move up in weight because he said he not moving up in weight. He said the pound for pound is made. Like, so what are you in this for, bro? Like, what are you like? Why not just be a lawyer then? You know what I mean? Like, get it? Yeah, I'm like, it don't make sense. It don't add up for you to have that mindset and be doing this unless your shit is scripted. Like, you want some WWE shit.
Bad. Yeah, we're going to use you, Keith, for this type of situation, and we're going to have you over here for this. Oh, I got this radio show for you. Don't worry. We're going to keep you in the limelight. Ain't nobody going to forget about you. We got you. Even though you just lost to Manny, but I got something for you. We're going to use that loss to Manny to benefit you because it's Manny Pacquiao. Come on now. You know, it's Manny Pacquiao. He a living legend. We can manipulate that. We can play that.
I legit think that they have those kinds of pep talks and confabs. I think that they told Keith, from now on, you're going to play the heel. Errol Spencer's going to be the hero. Sean Porter's going to be the anti-hero. I legit think they have them kind of pep talks to where they like, this is how the next season of PBC on Fox is going to look like. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make you the bad guy. He the good guy. He the anti-hero. Jordan Sparks is Princess Peach. And Caleb Plain is Super Mario. And he going to rescue her. All this shit.
And it sucks because I think that if it weren't for all the setbacks and ducking, Keith Thurman could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot more.
Oh yeah. I used to think real highly of Keith Thurman. Like, no gas. I used to think real highly of that dude. That's a long time ago though.
Yeah, and then Jamal Charlo not trying to fight Benavidez or Khalid playing. It's like, you ain't fighting nobody at 60. Why don't you move up and fight some real dogs? 68 and fight some real fighters. And she's like, no, Benavidez is just he a baby. He's still a kid. I'm like, bro, Benavidez got damn near 30 fights. He got damn the same amount of fights as you, and he got a belt. So what is you talking about?
Didn't Jamal turn down like what 10 or 12 mil to fight Canelo or some shit?
Bro, it's to the point that now the programming that they putting on is really not interesting to the boxing fan. I mean, the ultimate
hardcore.
The ultimate consequence of what they're doing is that you turning boxing fans away from boxing because I don't even want to see another Gervonta Davis fight. Like, I really don't. Like, for what, dog? You ain't gonna fight nobody. You in a division full of fighters and good fighters, but you're not gonna fight them. So why would I watch you?
Yeah, I think that's something that got to be pushed, bro, because that's some real talk right there. It's like, bro, it ain't even about making videos about you not fighting these cats or none of that. We know you not really finna fight them, bro. You gonna say all the good shit you gonna say to make it look like you might do it, but in reality, in real talk, bro, you not finna do it. There's nothing about what these PBC cats is doing that's showing that they really finna fight anybody with a heartbeat or pulse, and that's hella sad, bro.
Nah, it is because these fighters started out good fighters. If you think about it, Danny Garcia started out as a good fighter, good solid kid. So did Keith Thurman. Errol Spence. He started out as a good kid, but they corrupted them guys and they took their competitive spirit away from them. Now they just fighting for a check. You probably just fighting for a check. Like, bro, you could have got a check a lot of different ways.
Well, somebody had told me that they also told me about the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight, about how Mikey Garcia pretty much sold that fight because he was there and he's friends of Errol Spence. And this guy that I've been talking to for a minute, he in Texas, he know Errol. And he was telling me that the reason why that Errol Spence and these dudes respect Al so much is because these dudes is coming from literally nothing, and he's basically showing them a different life, and they're so wow by it to where they feel some sense of loyalty to him. And I feel like he pretty much bought these dudes. That's pretty much what he did. He basically was like, I can get you $1 million, and they only making a couple of thousand to fight. So he gets these dudes millions of dollars, more money than they have seen thus far in their life. And then
they sprung. That's what it is. They sprung. And I understand that. It's just that I remember I saw someone say that Al Heyman is really not a boxing guy. And I know what they meant, that Al don't understand these guys' mentality. For your stable of fighters to prosper, they have to be in a mental state of perpetual war. You can't have guys getting comfortable with nominal success because the next big fight is going to roll around. They got to stay sharp. Whereas his guys, they like ginger ale when you leave it out. They all going flat. Your guys is going flat. Your stable, your whole crop of guys is going bad. Thurman, 1-year-olds, Errol Spence, drinking and driving and shit, not caring about his career.
There was that one quote from Marvin Hagler saying that
it's hard to get up and fight when you slip up when you sleeping in silk sheets. Yeah.
For real.
That's real. That's real.
Like, and that's happening. I see that that's more or less what's happening to his whole stable, that a lot of these guys, they just plateauing because there's no real progress for them as athletes. That you getting them money, they getting some money, but they getting too comfortable with the money, forgetting what your job is. Like, bro, don't forget what your job is. You in the hurt business.
Yep.
You in the hurt business, bro.
Yep.
And to be honest, I think the money that they're getting now is just a taste of what they could get if they actually were great fighters.
Yeah, because that's what got fighters paid. That's what got you the money, was fighting the top dudes, beating the top dudes, because you become the man. That's going to allude to what I was just finna say, because I had somebody tell me about how they don't want to really fight these big fighters because, if Jamal Charlo fight Bubu Andrade, beat him, and then he fight Billy Joe Saunders, beat him, he fights Canelo, beat him, what is Jamal Charlo going to do? And I'm going to tell y'all straight up, this is what he going to do. Is what he should do, is reign. That's what Floyd did. He reigned. It's about you make it to the top. Okay, well, how long can you sit your ass on the mountain? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Determine your greatness. Anybody that call you out that wants to, because now you the dude everybody gunning for. So now you got to figure out pick and play who you finna fight, who the top dude, who deserves a shot at your belt. Exactly. So reign. That's what you do when you whoop everybody. That's what I'm used to when I watch boxing coming up. Exactly. That's what I know.
And that was the routine. If you think about Sugar Ray Leonard career, Roy Jones Jr. career, Oscar De La Hoya career, all the guys that achieved that status, that all right, I'm a celebrity, but I can fight. Like, I don't like Oscar De La Hoya. I never did. But could the man fight? Yes, he could. That dude was beast. Unleash, get a time machine and unleash that Oscar De La Hoya from 147 in today's welterweight division. They will.
They ain't gonna fight him. They're not fighting him. They're not fighting him.
They're not gonna fight him. They're not gonna fight him. You crazy? Same thing with Felix Trinidad. If you had that 5'10" hard punching Felix Trinidad from way back when in today's welterweight, imagine Keith Thurman trying to fight Felix Trinidad. Get the fuck out of here.
It's a few. I'm gonna go as far as to say it's a few cats that probably wouldn't even fight Ricardo Mayorga. Because he is actually a savage. He a killer. He ain't got no skill, but he come to scrap and he coming to put you to sleep.
Exactly.
Or even like
the last 30s, the last real
Hopkins.
And that's the basic idea that like their fighters are more focused they focused on the wrong thing in the wrong abundance. That it's prize fighting, so money's always going to be a factor. It's not that it's not. You do got to focus on the money. You do got to handle your business. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't lose sight of what you're doing for a living and who you are. Like, this the hurt business, bro. You in a perpetual state of war. Till you retire, there is no rest, bro.
No. It's funk season.
Somebody breathing down your neck.
Yeah, it's like they're stunting their own growth because they're complacent with what Heyman's giving them.
Shoot, at this point, I think Ryan is underrated at this point because ain't nobody really talking about Ryan too much, but Ryan's selling tickets.
And
Ryan
that's what
putting
I'm
the
saying. A year ago, if you would have asked me about Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, I would have picked Gervonta to win the fight.
Me too.
But a year later, since Davis is really not growing as a fighter, that favors Ryan. That favors him. Because they were saying, "Oh yeah, he ducking Duno. He went in there and dropped Duno in one round." All right, so he doing what he got to do as a fighter. Davis, y'all still feeding him applesauce and split peas.
Bruh. And another thing to put on that, right? And another thing to put on top of that, bro. As a fighter, and I know this more than a lot of people, bro. Ryan is in the gym all the time, training with Canelo. While Tank Davis is in the club partying, while Tank Davis is at little celebrity basketball events and being seen, while Tank Davis on Twitter, guess where Ryan at? He in the gym, training, getting better. So it's like, bro, as a fighter and a trainer, and I see that, I'm like, hey, Ryan might get you, bro, because Ryan hungry. Ryan hungry. He wants some smoke. The only person I'm kind of nervous to see Ryan fight right now, if he was to fight a top dude, would be Shakur Stevenson. That'd be a fight I'd be like.
I'll say, yeah, Shakur. I mean, as Davis aside, because I don't even consider him part of the young generation. You got a killer in Devin Haney. You got another killer, Shakur Stevenson. You got another killer in Teofimo Lopez, and you got another killer in Ryan Garcia, and you got another killer in Virgil Ortiz. Like, the young generation, like the young dudes is killers, man. Especially now. Davis is asleep at the wheel. Like, bro, you a two-time champion, and you got to order protection on you. Like, can't nobody get close to you, dog. You not. Leo Santa Cruz is not a big fight, bro. Who you think want to see that? I don't want to see that shit.
I'm not gonna go watch that. I'd rather see Gary Russell fight Leo Santa Cruz, tell you the truth, because that's the fight that he's been wanting, and that's a fight that's in his actual division. So I can understand that, but him fighting Tank, like, nah. I don't want to see Leo fight Tank. I don't have no interest in that whatsoever.
Exactly. I don't. My interest was Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell. To me, it seems that fight will never happen. So I don't care about Leo. Like, bro, Leo, you ain't fought nobody good in a long ass time.
The last credible dude was Abner Morris.
That's it. In a rematch that didn't nobody ask for. Because I don't know why they had two fights. Like, for what? Why y'all having two fights? You should be fighting Gary Russell.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think the problem with Tank that I see here is that I think his team has worked him into a corner at 135.
Yeah, you're right.
He's in a rank where he's surrounded by a lot of killers. Like in the WBA specifically, there's Ivan Mendy, there's Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
I mean, and he can't move up. He'll get killed at 140.
Yep.
And murdered.
He can't make 130 anymore. I mean, he moved up to 135 and still missed weight. So he's not moving down. So
they probably gonna have that Leo Santa Cruz fight at a catchweight of 132 to 133. Davis probably still below the weight. Probably still below it.
Eating Sonic and shit. Yep.
Word.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know what the future holds for him, but think about it this way also. Beyond the Leo Santa Cruz fight, let's say he has it, let's say he wins it. What else do y'all have for him? What y'all gonna do? Bring up Mares? Don't nobody care about that shit.
I bet that's what they do. I literally was finna say that. Like, after he beat Leo Santa Cruz, they're gonna be like, oh, well, we're gonna put you against Mares because we could sell it because Leo Santa Cruz beat Abner Mares and you were supposed to fight Abner Mares and it didn't happen. So now people gonna want to see it. Bro, it's gonna be some tomfoolery, bro. For real.
It's gonna be some cartoon. It's gonna get to, because he's in a corner. It's just like y'all said. He can't barely make 130, if at all. He's struggling to make 35 and he just got there. If he goes up to 140, either he gets killed or he don't fight nobody. It's one or the other. Either he do fight them guys, which I doubt, and gets killed, or he's not gonna fight nobody and ain't nobody gonna give a shit.
Right.
And what's really tragic is that he's young still.
Do that. Like, I don't know.
30.
Yeah, he's not. He's barely 25.
He's
Like,
he's 25 and he's screwed.
and he ain't gonna fight the Richard Coleman's of the world.
Nah, he didn't. Nah, hell no. Hell no. Shit.
Who the hell can he fight at 135 now?
I'm just saying, ain't nobody. Because I feel like this. I feel like just the way they feeling about Terence. I feel the same way about Tank. I feel like Tank shouldn't even get a fight with Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez until he fights a Coleman or a Devin Haney. If he don't fight under them, he don't deserve no title shot. That's how I feel.
I look at it like this, right? I think Mayweather is pulling away from Gervonta Davis because you see that he's not around as much as he used to be because he know what time it is. Like, bruh, this kid is not a good investment. He not making me no money. He's not making me the kind of money that I want to be making because he's not what I thought he was. So now, Leonard, you handle that shit.
Yeah, that's why Leonard ain't tweet. He ain't made a tweet all since that Tank Davis situation. Ain't made not one tweet. And I'm gonna say this before I get up out of here. For real, like when it comes to like the stable with the PBC dudes and all that, bro, with Wilder and AJ and all that, I don't think that AJ Wilder fight gonna happen. Don't think that's gonna happen at all. I don't think Crawford gonna fight Spence. Don't think that's gonna happen. I think that they gonna just keep everything in house. And I think DAZN is gonna be putting on major fights that people gonna want to see and all that. And DAZN is gonna kind of take over on the under, but ain't no real fights finna happen like that we really want to see. Like what we really willing to pay for, we really not finna get a chance to see that. And I'm gonna add to your point. I'm gonna add to your point that you absolutely right. And realize Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko then came and went. Right? Mm-hmm. We ain't gonna get that fight. That fight was once a hot topic. Thurman versus Spence. If they fight, it ain't gonna be what it was. Hey, bruh. What's cold about that? Not to cut you off. What's cold about that, bro? Was that not? Correct me if I'm wrong, too. Was they not talking about Mikey Garcia fighting Lomachenko, and then all of a sudden Mikey Garcia ended up fighting Errol Spence? Let me know if I'm in the right timeline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly
just let me know.
Look, this is how it happened. Mikey Garcia himself went up to Lomachenko. Egas Climax was like, yo, ain't you supposed to be at Showtime? He's like, nah. He's like, me and you should have a fight. We could do our own thing. Shortly after that, you start hearing this fucking Mikey and Spence talk. It looked to me like Al said, all right, you want to be on pay-per-view? Okay, I'll put you on pay-per-view if you fight Errol Spence. And Mikey was like, okay, because I could lose to Spence and ain't nobody going to blame me for it. I'm little. Yeah, that's why every time the rounds would go, you would see Mikey like get fist pumped because he cool. I made it through that round. I'm still here. I'm still man. And I peeped that it was like Mikey with the SHIT. But another thing I was gonna say was that it's weird that all these LDVC cats and all these people on the PBC side are so biased, but the person that's running it and that built it is against a lot of stuff that's going on. Even Floyd Mayweather felt that Deontay Wilder lost to Fury, and Floyd Mayweather don't even rock with Deontay Wilder. Word, he said, look, Floyd said on camera, I'm gonna talk to Al because he giving these guys too much money. Too much money. And that's why they not hungry.
Want to turn around calling these guys coons and shit.
And they sitting there calling Ian, and they want to call everybody else, but Floyd is saying the same shit, bro, that I'm saying and that Ring IQ saying. And on that note, because Floyd knows what it takes. He done fought at the highest level for a long time. He know what it takes. He know what it takes. And he know that them guys is fat and happy and don't want to do shit. He know. For sure. That's all I'm saying, bro. But I'm gonna holler at you, Ring, bro. I'm gonna catch you on the relay, bro. Nice hollering at you, Andy. Shout out to the panel, bro. I'm going, y'all. All right, same here, y'all. It's good talking to y'all. We gonna wrap it up for the night and tune into the next episode. Good talking to you, Andy.